Make sure the message reach them.
Live from Kingston, Jamaica, broadcasting around the world. You're watching the Teach Them YouTube show. Intellectual, yet stimulating. Fair, frank, and factual. And now,
broadcasting
live.
We will broadcast
live. This is ExtraClass, streaming to the world and beyond.
Hey, let's go.
You know, it's Teach Them, the #1 intellectual blogging panel on the YouTube channel.
Good night, everyone. Let me know if you are seeing me clearly. Let me know if you're hearing me clearly. If you're seeing and hearing me clearly, welcome to another episode of ExtraClass, episode number 361. I trust that everybody who is in the hearing of my voice and seeing my face, you, your family, your friends, you are all doing well on this Friday night. For all the people who are on the road, get home safely. For the people who are there at work, might be shift and soon, peeps. We're there. I'm going to welcome my co-host before we proceed.
Hi guys, good night. Hope all is well. You're in the best of health and wealth. And looking forward to having a nice discussion. Share our opinions without getting in any arguments.
Oh, I know the camera a little bit high. Like, yeah, I know it's alright, make it stay, because next thing you're going to mash up your whole thing. Stay with it. Yeah, peeps, pick up on yourself. Some things we're going to talk about tonight, you see me? Just Chief Justice Bryan Sykes has been in the news a lot. He would have ripped into some police officers and some prosecutors during the Klansman Wandan gang trial that is ongoing. He has also chimed in on the new Bail Act debate situation. We saw also where a state of emergency was declared for St. Catherine this morning by the Prime Minister, and hours after we saw where a young man would have won a case against the government for illegal detention during one state of emergency. He would have been awarded, he was awarded some $17 million. That is interesting development. And them something there. The whole Spanish Town situation, I don't know. But some more things we have to talk about in the night. You understand? See how far I can go before I drop asleep. You see it? So peeps, manners are respecting to the ones that we check in, you know. You know what I mean? We're there, yeah. Mama and Papa. So take your hand from your jaw. Ah boy. Peeps, it was a week of mayhem, chaos, bloodshed, many different things. It's Jamaica to rotted. I need to start about a local series there, you know. And thing, many. So much to unpack. I'll try my best. Tomorrow is one of the Saturdays that we have an interview, early interview. So, as night come, I'm gone a bit. So, I couldn't know that. Yeah,
by your rooms like Paul.
Yeah, man. Because as Cox give me jazz a morning, I have to wake up.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
So, I just saw a thing. I want to tell you, I'm not even done the research for the interview yet.
I'll let me spend that. Go with God, me not go with you.
Know yourself, man. Everything good before you volunteer. Say, bro, let me help it. Do some of my research. No? Yeah, where you send me? With God.
Right now, as the little man come on and say, thank you for watching the Teach Them show. You're out like a bulb. That's your man.
Good night, mother. Miss Lorna Sayers. Me said that one night and I look around like, how will I call mother?
Yeah.
Gracie, man.
Oh, that's Gracie your real name?
You're deaf? Good night, Christina. How are you?
Good night, Gracie. It's the first me hearing it.
Oh, it's good to see them. Metronome. Please, I always make sure the message I reach them. Creations, I go on, brother. So I could start off with a little thing. So, I could lead with the Spanish Town situation. So we know there was chaos in the old capital on Tuesday, I think, where at least three people were killed across the town. I think people were shot and injured as well. I think the police also killed one. So a whole heap of things. And since then, a state of emergency was declared this morning. We'll talk about that a little. But just let me tie up some loose ends on a Spanish Town side and thing. So a body was found this morning, despite the SOE declaration. I mean, the SOE was declared after 8 this morning. Not entirely sure what time the body was found. I think the police have since identified him. He was found under some palm leaves. So, body found at car wash along St. John's Road in Spanish Town. So the body of a man was discovered this morning by residents at a car wash along St. John's Road in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. He has been identified as 30-year-old Ryan Daly of a Bogwalk address in the parish. Daly's body was found with multiple gunshot wounds covered under palm tree leaves. I almost said three. The police have determined that he was killed elsewhere and dumped at the car wash. That's an interesting concept. I've seen that John's Road is a part of the upheaval recently, and you know what I mean? So no. So John's Road residents are pleading for peace, and they have denied any involvement in any attacks recently. As yesterday, Member of Parliament for St. Catherine, one of them part, St. Catherine Central, Olivia Babsy Grange, said some stuff where apparently the St. John's Road residents they've never pleased with. You understand? So, householders of 31 St. John's Road in St. Catherine have rejected claims that migratory residents from the violence-plagued community have sparked an upsurge of violence in Spanish Town. Now, they were responding to an assertion made Wednesday by St. Catherine Central Member of Parliament, Olivia Grange, in the aftermath of shootings a day earlier that left 3 men dead in the old capital. So St. John's Road has suffered violent attacks in recent times, including, trying not to do that, I'm still not 100%, still fighting a cold, well, you know, including the discovery of a man's body this morning and a firebombing on June 9th. But community members insist that they are not to blame for the spate of crimes, such as a quadruple murder near Tarspen almost 2 weeks ago. Nobody from down here don't have no problem with Tarspen or Ellerslie, a resident who declined to disclose his identity said. The truth is that 31 no need no done. I just pure hustlers down here, but someone just come back and I try prove. Another theorized that the latest rush of violence might be linked to a casual show of disrespect to a man who declared himself a Don. Man just a drive through and a man a look under him car. Him tell the man that him a run bout here, he said. Let me read that again.
Man a look under him car?
Yeah, man. You know when you look under something. Yeah, that's here. So I read it again. Boy, man just a drive through and a man a look under him car. Him tell the man that him run bout here, he said. The man run him away. The youth get a gun and come fire shot straight. And that started, he added.
What?
Yeah, I'm read it again.
Please. Because I don't think I heard.
Man just a drive through and a man a look under him car. Him tell the man that him run bout here. I don't know which one tell which one. I don't know if the man will look under the car or the man will drive the car. See? But that said, the man run him away. I don't know who get run away. I don't know if I car man or look under man. You understand? Right. The youth get a gun and come fire shot. I don't know which one of them get gun come fire shot. You see me I say? Straight. And that started. That's what the resident say. You see me? Now, St. Catherine South Central Member of Parliament, Dr. Andrew Wheatley, did not address Grange's claims, but emphasized that he has that he was taking a zero-tolerance approach to criminal activities plaguing the area. The lawmaker said he would not take sides with gangsters, as the innocent suffered most in crime wars. Well, crime waves, really. We have no space for people who are creating sadness. We will support the full investigation, said Wheatley Wednesday. Wheatley Wednesday, that's all I can name of a show. Adding that he was trying to assist the fire victims who lost everything. There has been increased deployment of police and soldiers to the streets of Spanish Town in a bid to restore normality and calm shoppers and business people in the heart of the St. Catherine capital. But even amid beefed up security, a woman was slain and 2 others injured in a gun attack in Homestead late on Wednesday. The fragile stability that offered commuters, vendors, and buyers a sense of peace has now been shattered. Now, operators of some shops and schools have been wary of reopening as the week wears on. Right now, picnic can't go to school, people can't work, and quite a few move out due to the violence, said Michelle Garwood. As for the police, I want them stay, as you can move a little. The most important thing right now is peace. We need for party again, but things sticky right now, she said. That cry for a respite may yet come, even if temporarily, with a state of public emergency that took effect today. Now, over on William Lane, an elderly resident who has been living there for close to 30 years said the scale of the violence is unprecedented. It is the first I have ever seen this type of wickedness, he said. It looked like a family war. This one, a revenge for them relative, and the cycle continued. He is convinced that the state of affairs will never improve. How are you laugh for?
Something fun.
I want to you. Like your arthritis to act up.
You should catch up on me.
So, I don't know, yeah, man. Sharon Taylor. Fam, with all due respect, a maestry. Yeah. Because I don't know what you're talking about. No. We have heard Babsy, we have heard Wheatley. Both of them are from the ruling Jamaica Labour Party. Right. So, you know what? But I read an article earlier that, you know, some semblance of normalcy to a level returned today. That's seeing good. That the SOE was declared as the market community started to reopen a little bit. Okay. And, you know, but it's rough. It's rough. So, and based on news reports, both gangs that are known to operate in the space are warring against, well, let me do that. Both gangs have internal conflicts going on. So basically, one gang a war with itself and the other one a war with itself. So it's an inter-gang situation. Did I get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I don't know when this is going to stop. I don't know. Because, as I say, as one thing happen, a reprisal at the next thing and sort of thing.
It's ongoing. Just keep one after the other.
Yes. So, and then now schools are being affected. I know of a particular school in Spanish Town area that did not open the following day. That would have been the Wednesday. So I know, man.
And students have been having issues going to school.
Naturally.
Naturally.
So these things I don't see the benefit. I guess the people who are involved see the benefit. But I don't see the benefit, but the wider society is suffering, has been suffering, continue to suffer. Zine, so we see the SOE declared. The thing is that, yes, we have a SOE declaration. And it's 14 days initially. I don't know if an extension. Worse again now, seeing that the court ruled how it ruled in that situation. So I don't know what will happen. I don't know if the opposition will vote in favor of an extension come 2 weeks from now. I don't know if the government will seek an extension come 2 weeks from now. I don't know what will happen. But I say that to say, so we have SOEs and we have zones of special operations. And we have curfews, because there was a curfew first, then the SOE. See? So these operations are declared. You understand? Police and military checkpoints are erected and established in various places. You have some vehicle checks and stuff. But are the guns in these spaces being found? So you can have SOE for 10 years. See? If after the 10 years you have not rid the area of the guns and the violent producers, then it would have been an act of futility. An act in futility. That's up. No, know it better. You see me? I said, so we keep on doing these things and you get dog. And let me know. Me a dog back.
No, I didn't.
Okay. And things. So that is one. So until we are able to rid these communities of the tools of war, then there will be war. Because obviously there is motivation and cause for war. And if you have the weaponry to facilitate said war, then there will be war. Yeah, I know I can't marry to work. I mean, I see a wall up there. So all you didn't need for this is pull the thing closer. Long story, make it turn. As I said about that machine. Hey, it just have the OCD affect me. You understand? So I know, I am looking. I know that when the last SOE was declared in St. Catherine and North, I think, or St. Catherine South, there was a little bit of calm for a while. But I don't know. We can't have SOE. I have gone on record to say that, you know, SOEs have them place, ZOZOs have them place. And one of the time when they were discontinued, I felt that they should have been kept for a little longer. But I've also said that we can't have these things indefinitely. You understand? Constitutionally speaking, there's no provision for that. See? So these tools are to be used when the situation is so grave that you don't have much option. So we can't indefinitely be declaring SOEs. See? And with the latest court development, which I'll share very soon, I wonder what is the future of these SOEs. And it's not even the SOEs per se, because the Constitution provides for that. It is the indefinite detention
of individuals
without actually charging them. That is what the case is about, you know. You understand? So whilst the SOE give you powers to detain for a while, I think not even sure how long. I kind of get rusty, you know. But it is the indefinite detention for however long without you being formally charged. And we can't support that. Like, if you are detaining me, then you should be detaining me of such so you have evidence to know that I am a violence producer, and so charges are brought against me and I am brought in front of the courts. You see me? You can't just hold on upon me and have me locked up.
Have me in jail, sit down, so.
Just like that. You see me? Rick Golding, blessings, fam. You see me? So, before the court ruling today, whilst the declaration of SOE was taking place, the Prime Minister made some statements. See? Isn't it a crime to hold someone for ransom? Yeah, kidnapping that. Right. So yeah, that is what it is. No, so the Prime Minister, as I said before the court ruling today, said a few things. So he said, provisions under the Constitution governing SOE needs clarification and redefinition. I suspect he was anticipating a particular judgment in the case in making these utterances. I'm just saying, I can't read the Prime Minister's mind. Me and him never hold a conversation. I am just saying that's a possibility. So Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the provisions under the Constitution which govern the use of a state of public emergency need clarification and redefinition. His comment follows the declaration of a state of public emergency for the parish of St. Catherine, which has so far recorded 128 murders since January, representing a 30% increase year on year. There are also 12 active conflicts. Well, let me read that again. There are also 12 active gang conflicts in the parish, according to the Commissioner of Police, Major General Anthony Anderson. 12 active gang conflicts. It's a lot of gangs and a lot of
That's
conflicts.
a lot.
We always welcome the courts. Well, we always welcome the court's clarification because it makes it easier for us to define policy. So we welcome the guidance of the court, said Holness. But we also recognize the threats that exist to the democracy that we have now are quite different from when the Constitution was concerned. So basically, you must say, okay, so when the Constitution was created, the situation that exists then is totally different from the one that exists now, which is true. Like when you just realize that, so that's why we have so many archaic laws and antiquated and outdated laws and the books. See, so you see, through my head big now and you not the thing properly, the way down, so my big head the way up, so I don't like that.
Yeah, big energy.
Yeah, but know that, but if you do the thing properly, you're there.
But you tell me something of the trouble, Jesus.
Yeah, if you have trouble, you have trouble half a camera. Stop calling it, do not, what you say? Do not call in vain. Right. That's something there. Fix yourself.
Hey.
Zine.
This?
Yes.
More?
Still want more. Them more them get. I don't know if that's too much. No, I look alright now. Let me see. See if it's a good fixer-upper. Yeah, see, them much look better, you know. Yes, yeah. Right, so let's continue. So he's saying that but we also recognize the threats that exist to the democracy that we have now are quite different from when the Constitution was concerned. I don't know if it's concern is the word that should be here, but never mind. It is a different time. The Constitution was conceived when the threat actors were easily identified. They were sometimes extraterritorial. They were states themselves, he added. He said currently, threat actors are embedded within the society and more often than not are citizens whose actions are to control territories within the country and create enterprises out of criminal activities. It's a loaded statement, but I won't get into that right now. These, he said, include trafficking in narcotics, arms, human and as well as financial and cyber crimes. I am using the exceptional powers we have gone over and beyond to protect the right. Something about the article, I'll read it again. I am using the exceptional powers we have gone over and beyond to protect the rights of citizens, and we always want to know if there are things we can do better. And if the court can advise us and direct us as to how we can do better, he said. But in the interim, no one in Jamaica can say the Prime Minister Andrew Holness did not act and did what was necessary to protect innocent lives. I speak for the innocent citizens of the country. If others want to speak for the people who are creating crime or create an opportunity of blanket or protection for them to hide behind, but you know that I care about your safety and your security. And this government is doing what it has to do.
Why is that so funny?
Why? Yeah, so they just read some things, I always saw the others have a laugh. They don't have then they can't laugh. So I am saying, so based on reading this article, because I didn't get to watch the press conference, see? So reading the article, I sense that the Prime Minister was bracing himself for the ruling of the courts to come later in the day. That is what I get from this. You understand?
Like coming against him. Coming against the state.
And speaking about that exact situation, which can use that, yeah, and things. So, St. James man awarded $17.8 million for SOE constitutional violations. I mean, you have to go pay that, you know.
Not paying none, me not have it.
The Supreme Court this morning upheld the challenge brought by the St. James resident Roshane Clark against the 2018 state of emergency imposed on the parish and declared the emergency powers regulations unconstitutional.
It's from back then.
Right. Okay. The court ruled that the security measure infringed on Clark's rights under the Constitution. He was awarded millions in damages. In his lawsuit, Clark asserted that his right to liberty, to be informed at the time of his detention of the reason for his arrest, and to be brought before a court as soon as his reasonable practicable were breached. You see so we just talked about. So detention is one. But you can't detain the man indefinitely. You don't charge him and you haven't brought him to court. You understand? Then that is a problem. Clark asked the court to declare that the extensions of the SOE in the parish were not justified for the respective periods ending May 2, 2018, August 2, 2018, November 1, 2018, and January 31st, 2019. He also argued that the conditions under which the extensions were obtained are unconstitutional, and that the circumstances that may have warranted the SOE when it was declared on January 18, 2018 did not exist after the first extension. His application was upheld by the court. Now, the court held and declared that emergency powers regulations 22 and 32 in respect to the fundamental rights of freedom of movement and regulations 30, 33 and 38 in respect of the fundamental right to liberty breached the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms of the Constitution. The regulations were declared unconstitutional by the court, as it said they gave the authorities unduly unfettered power to abrogate the fundamental rights of a wide class of persons in society without evidence establishing that they were reasonably justified for achieving the purpose of the state of emergency. The court also found and held that Clark's fundamental rights and freedoms under the Constitution, his right to liberty, his right to be informed of the reason, we say all that already. And we say all that already. You see? So all of those had been violated, and that he's entitled to damages and redress for those violations. So he was awarded a total of $17,862,000 inclusive of compensatory, vindicatory, and aggravated damages. Now, this is potentially a flood in the making, and let me tell you why. Many people who were detained under said condition for such period of time may now feel that they too ought to take the state to court. And if so, taxpayers better start band them belly.
You mean more than how we have already banned it?
Right.
I don't think it's possible to ban it.
Well, you never know until you know, you know. So, I am just saying that there are many people out there who felt aggrieved because of the protracted detention without charge, without being brought to court. Like, I mean, that can't right in itself. You understand what I'm saying? So you detain a man on reasonable suspicion that he may be a violence producer. Not speaking about Mr. Clark specifically, just saying. Zane, so so I don't remember how long constitutionally you are able to detain him for without charging. But apparently many people were held beyond said time. No charges were laid against them, and they were not afforded a day in court. And that's such that can't right.
So they were just detained and then released eventually?
Eventually. Most of them were released after the SOEs did not get the vote for extension in the House of Parliament.
And how long did that last?
It was a long time. Because if you follow the track here, so one, I think the first extension was on May 2, 2018. Then you had another one on August 2, 2018. Then another one on November 1, 2018. And another one on January 31st, 2019. So I don't know if anybody was held for that period of time. But
I would hope
in
not.
between
I'm not charged.
You understand? You see me? So, so fine. The SOE gives you power to detain. But it don't give you powers of detention indefinitely.
Exactly.
You understand?
At some point you charge or
you release. That's it. And that wasn't done. And I assure you that there are many out there who...
If there's one, there are others.
And him alone did that cut, miss.
So
that makes sense.
And if they all are to now challenge it, then Everybody I get $17 million?
Depend. I don't think every case is the same. You understand? Auntie.
Or get a substantial sum?
Right. It could be more. It could be less. It could be the same.
That's
See me?
crazy.
I wanted to say hundreds of millions of dollars the state pay out for lawsuits on any given.
No, man, I know that. I know that.
Okay, because we have some people in the country.
People so win, man.
Regular, man. Regular. I mean, and you know, as I said that, I've been saying to myself that, so you know, when you sue the state, is normally the auditor, the attorney general who represents the state. Zin? I am wondering, like, normally everybody was sue the state with, like.
What are you wondering?
Me I wonder, like, what going on in the attorney general office with the lawyer? They like say,
represent the state.
don't me just say, you understand? Like, nobody, you no care. I'm just saying. But if you violate the constitutional rights of citizens, then you have to pay for man. You understand what I'm saying? And also saying that, I understand also that in order to treat with the crime situation in Jamaica, you see, I don't think it can be business as usual as well either. I think that at some point, the citizenry of the country will understand that we have to go make some sacrifices.
We have a rule.
We have to go make a few sacrifices for the greater good. But indefinite detention, I don't think that is one of them. You understand what I'm saying? But there has to be a situation based on the extraordinary level of criminality. No ordinary solution can't fix it. So extraordinary problems can only be solved with extraordinary solutions, if you get what I say. But are we willing to make said sacrifices? Apparently not. We saw the pushback.
No.
We saw the pushback to the suggestions in the Bail Act. You understand? Teach them, try and sue them for potholes on Jamaican roads, many causing accidents. They get away scot-free without being held accountable for the poor state of the roads Caribbean expat. When you say expat, so it's all like another about the war still. So, but I don't know. Where's the plan that Mr. Andrew Wellness have in 2016 when he said we voted for him, he could sleep?
Yeah.
But DeAndre, if you didn't believe that, then you deserve.
You deserve a cog.
Yeah, man. If you had bought that Anansi story,
Yeah.
sir.
You
First
deserve
thing,
a cog.
when politicians are selling things, you don't buy it, sir. You understand what I say? So
Right,
that's the
even if
first
they're
thing.
giving it to you for free,
You don't take it neither. Because sometimes you might get your pussy in a bag like. Zine? But the truth is it's a discussion we have to have, you know. Zine? What something you have to give.
What's sacrifice?
We cannot. So alright. So hold on. So alright. So SOEs, there will always be a pushback against SOEs, especially with this ruling. See? And as I'm saying, so based on what exists for SOEs before, the Constitution gives you the authority to do certain things, but you can't OD the thing.
But
so,
all you do ensure you don't infringe on anyone's constitutional rights.
Right. So that is what.
So if
Also,
you have a detain,
the
you
Bail
detain
Act.
in the time frame.
Yeah, so the Bail
Right.
Act suggestion has come up and there has been massive pushback. Seeing? So yes, the laws that exist are not able to treat with the level of criminality. But then now when suggestions are being made to address laws, people like you and me come up and make nice. You think that's straight and you lean, you know. Who said you, man? Alright, make it stay. It's alright. You understand what I say? So people like you and me who feel like so we have a voice and have a platform normally oppose these things.
We need to
Zane, so what are our recommendations and suggestions? What, bring back in? What, give
That is not a deterrent.
everybody a license God? Like, no, these are some of the recommendations that I keep hearing. So me just ask you what you think about them. You understand?
Like,
We have to get rid of Jamaican for justice. So somebody that give one solution.
who said that?
No,
that one
but
of them
sis,
big
free up the
guys.
license guns.
That is not the option.
That's not a solution, you know.
Never.
That is not that is not as big a solution as people would think.
That's-
Yeah,
Rather, you might be ending up giving more fools gun.
whilst many more citizens should be armed legally, I don't think we're saying okay everybody get gun. That that's a potential issue in Jamaica. I can
Yes.
knowing the mannerism
And the temperament
and the
of
temperament
individuals.
of my Jamaican brothers and sisters.
Oh, Lord.
That may be a rough road. You understand what I mean? I say bring back Adams.
I recently heard someone saying that they want to apply for it. And I tell her, so she better go down for her knee go pray.
Because our temperament.
Yeah.
So I know. So and may I say again, so we are where we are. State of emergencies cannot happen indefinitely. Can be declared forever. See?
And it cannot be the go-to either.
Right. It should
always
be
be the go-to.
a tool that in extraordinary times, yeah,
Then they utilize.
it's a state of emergency. See? But I guess we live in a state of emergency.
But that's the other thing, because if we are constantly in a state of emergency, then
We need
it's the
state of
tool
emergency.
that is going to apply to the situation.
So we need to come out of the state of emergency. What are
So
we going
that's
to
what we
do to
need
come
to
out of the
do
state of
first.
emergency?
And it's not even said do. What are we willing to sacrifice?
There has to be that thing about many people are not willing to have that conversation. I have
26
observed that we are not willing to get rid of the gangs. Yes, toppers. How so though?
Oh,
How so though?
it's the whole.
Because gangs are in operations everywhere, every country, most country in the world. And many countries that have far greater resources than we do, far better investigative capacity and judiciary than us, have been struggling to treat with this. Then how so though? You understand? So these are the questions that we have to ask ourselves, you know. Zane, look to other countries that have seen sustained reduction in crime, like Singapore and recently El Salvador. Singapore, reduction in crime in Singapore from a decades ago, them something, man. And I like Singapore was grappling with crime in recent times and there was a massive reduction. Singapore situation has been okay for decades now. Unless it's a different Singapore than the one we know of. You understand? So, yeah, I don't know that part of it. El Salvador now, but then again, what are the things? What and a Moonlight question? What are some of the strategies that have been implemented in El Salvador? And were those strategies implemented without towing the lines of constitutional rights and stuff? And if not, what was the pushback from the people? So what I have seen knife fights because of one man not passing a ball. What if they had guns? Mayhem. Not to try to get rid of Indicum, then fight fire with fire. We fight fire with fire, the guns with fire, but rather Indicum has its place. I know that may not be a popular statement, but the truth is that we have some police officers or some men who are wearing uniforms as police officers who have been involved in serious levels of criminality, and as such, you need a Indicum to treat with that. You understand what I mean? I say? So there's that. So as I said, I know that won't be a popular thing, but I am willing to be the voice of reason and bring balance to the conversation. And I am willing to take the flak for that. I have done that many times. You understand? So it is okay and trendy to say get rid of Indicum, but then who treat with rogue police officers? Who treat with police officers who are aligned to gangs and are killing people for gangs and them done and all of them something and you understand what I say? So who treat with that? Then we're going to have a next conversation that time there. So in the pursuit of justice, I've always said we cannot become unjust.
Yes, Samba said Indicum is a necessary evil.
And I've spoken to the Indicum situation. I think them kind of overreach sometimes, but them have them place. Like, brother, we have seen down the years where some stores that have emerged where police. There was a police gang recently, brother. One whole gang. So you have police officers who are trying to eradicate and dismantle gangs, having their own gang. Then how you work that out? You understand what I say? So I don't know. So these, you see, and so here we are having the conversation. I think we need a live stream. Call-in stream for that topic here. So here we are having the conversation. And we are saying that what the government is doing is not right. But what are the viable alternatives and suggestions that exist? What are the viable alternatives that will help to stem the tide of crime?
There's a comment in this section that says that the problem in Jamaica is that the current leadership has no vision whatsoever. Until then, the cycle will continue.
So we said the current leadership, right? So
the crime did not spring up just now.
But me, I wonder which leadership both did really have vision both there really can say
about the crime because
it has been going on for a long
play,
time.
The crime beat them.
You understand? Two parties but at the same sad song them a play. You understand what I say? So no man, get rid of the dance. How many dance still really about it like that though? Yes, like real serious dance. We don't talk about some local man we are trying to flex them muscle. We are say real dance. Like we don't know that we have dance culture kind of. We have some gangsters, some wicked youth we have just I do them one thing. Right now the man not really work off another neither. You see me? You them just cruel brother and do them thing. We don't know that we have no a dance situation that exists. I mean you have some eras where you have some man who say them a dance, yes. But I don't know that is really and truly the cause of the thing right now. So I think the crime system in Jamaica need to be over. I think it's probably overall the person was saying and spell check fix that. Prison sentence for people who commit crime. Every corner have a done right now. Well, I don't know if that's still so. I guess probably I am not as informed as you are, but some men know. The crime board party. Homegrown terrorists. The first step will have to be MOU looking at crime in a bipartisan manner. That's one place to start. But you know how that go. You see it? I know sometimes our politicians in trying to appease their constituents and the volatile areas that they represent are not readily willing to treat with certain things and to cross certain things. And I don't know, teach them, Scotty, class. None of them are not that. Updating the infrastructure of the inner city goes a long way in preventing crime. That is true. That are true. But you say that to say, you like, say, I just inner city crime. Brother, I know if I'm living in some housing scheme in some nice communities these days. Most of them when you see police lock up these days, police lock them up. Nice. In some upscale communities, family. So yes, and that is true. There has to be social renewal in these areas and such but the crime situation, say we spend about 2 hours in a stream already and when I reach like the crime situation is so multidimensional and multifaceted that boy.
You need a call-in stream most definitely.
But yeah, then we have to take call and talk again and then we wake up with next one and I don't know. But I mean the platform is for people to share their views and express their opinions and stuff. So I know man. I wonder if we can write a crime plan and send it to you.
How would you write a crime plan that wasn't... Oh! Pretty police officer. What do we call his name? He has a YouTube channel too. Mocha.
You mean our
Mocha
boy?
Guy. Yeah man, I don't remember his name.
Okay.
I remember watching a thing.
The Noble Cop?
Yeah. That's it.
So it's a pretty police and a woman me I think about.
Whatever. Well,
Yeah,
you
whatever.
think about... Alright, so correct, fine, that's fine. You are thinking about a
You
woman.
can't say pretty police and me I think about a male police.
Okay then.
I mean I'm good away there.
I agree with you, sir. You were part to think along that.
Can you see me there? You think like pretty police, and then they say him have a YouTube channel, and me I say pretty police and him. Yeah, I know about that something there.
Moving right along. Next.
You talk about Kevin, man.
Yes.
So that ever say?
I couldn't recall his name.
Let me see what I go on with that comment there when I show up. Look, so it says Jamaicans need to step up and take accountability for their corrupt minds and set the culture we always seek to sympathize with criminals. True that. A simple thing as buying driver's license is corruption. True that too. You understand? When I know I'm to our teacher, and I mean I say addicted to jail, pretty police, and I accept me if you know
Whatever.
say it's a major top.
Whatever.
Depend that. Right, so that said, and all of this said, we could continue. So the government say, let me see if we can get this. Government committed to following Constitution, says Attorney General. So Attorney General Dr. Derek McCoy says the government is committed to following the Constitution after a court ruling, that regulations governing a 2018 state of emergency in St. James violated Jamaica's supreme law and a citizen's fundamental rights. There's been anticipation for McCoy's comments, given that today's decision came within hours of the state of the SOE declaration for St. Catherine. So the government of Jamaica respects the court's ruling and commits to ensuring that the judgment is thoroughly followed. The government is totally committed to fully applying the rule of law as laid down in the Constitution, to the chief legal advisor to the government. Now, McCoy says he's doing a detailed review of the ruling to ensure that the current regulations are consistent with the court's ruling. Now, St. James taximan Rushing Clark won his lawsuit against the government. We'll just talk about the whole of that. You understand what I say? Anting. McCoy. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, is a taxi
Taxi operator. Yeah, so I guess he then get damages to loss of income line.
Yeah.
So boy taxi man earn $100,000 a day and lucky man for 100 days. You understand? McCoy said even before today's judgment, the government had amended the 2018 regulations governing states of public emergency. These amendments were to satisfy concerns raised by the litigants in the courts regarding the process engaged in the detention of suspects. These amendments are currently operating in the regulations governing states of public emergency, he said. Now, the opposition People's National Party, as you know, they would have things to say about it. I mean, they have been saying it was unconstitutional for a while, so in fairness to them, yeah, certain aspects of it, see? So the opposition People's National Party has said it was vindicated.
Here we go.
by the ruling of the Constitutional Court, because it had long maintained that the way in which the government has been using SOEs since 2018 has violated the Constitution. We invite the government to have discussions with the opposition to find a constitutional and effective, as somebody said, you need a bipartisan approach, an effective pathway to addressing the scourge of crime and violence plaguing the country. Given today's guidance provided by the Constitutional Court, said the opposition spokesman on Justice and Information, Senator Donna Scott Martley, she also noted that the monetary award to Clark speaks to the magnitude of the state's potential liability, where thousands of young people could become claimants in similar cases at a cost that would be borne by the Jamaican taxpayers.
But Estendo,
What's the matter?
We'll ever reach a space where both parties actually sit down and formulate a way forward?
I would hope so. That's the best answer I can give. I hope so.
Because I would hope that they see that where we are and where we are heading is not a good space.
Well,
And put aside the political affiliations and the crap and just do something before something more do it.
you're right about that. For something more. I would hope so, though. It's a very good question. Are we politically mature enough? Are we mature enough politically? I don't
We
think so.
should be.
But I
We
don't think so.
should be.
Yeah, we should be versus we should, but versus we are two different things, you know. You understand? Because then, what do you have to say when you go on political platforms? What do you have to criticize? It's like I think
When
for them,
you would have been a part of the
right? But then, but
solution.
politicians are very short memory, you know. Memories, you know. You understand? Some things a politician
Voters
say.
have very short memories too.
Say again, voters. Oh, voters
Yeah,
are the
man.
memory. Voters are the memory. We're memoryless. You understand? The politicians have very short memories. See, many politicians forget that they were a part of the thing for a long time when they did nothing to try and effect change, yet them attack things. Like, and both sides of the divide, they do that. Like that's why I'm kind of annoyed when me a politician talk most of the time. You see me? I say, like, me not get it. You see me? And yes, the voters are very short. But we know that. As long as election time come round, and yeah man, and the sergeants up with dog in a orange and green, and with donkey and these things, and paint with dog them, and they sit there and we get with bell and with pot cover and all of these things, and curry goat and white rice and rum dip and other, and music pan truck, then we go there. You understand what I say?
Everybody comes and says, oh, we love this little piece of rock called Jamaica. Oh, we want what's best and we want to build and we want better for Jamaica. But if the better requires both parties to sit down and formulate something, not just them, because we don't want it to ever seem as if citizens don't play a role. Because the other day I was thinking about the piece that we read that Campbell wrote. Right. So citizens play a role. Correct. Like it came back to me full-fledged the other day. I even went back into the article to read it. To read it. To read it.
But I pressure you still.
So it's like everybody have a role to play.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but when are we going to recognize that we all have a role to play and play that role?
Yeah, but what you're right now, it's just like how certain things are being said by the government now, and certain things were said by governments of the past. Zane, you have people who, instead of sitting down and looking at it and analyze it for themselves, a party position them taking. As long as my party say X at the position them take, matter if it's sensible to you or not,
Sense.
Yeah,
because as a citizen, I am afraid, and I'm not. It is scary. Like watching the news, hearing all the things that are taking place. It is scary. It is. So when are we all going to reach to the point that we say, all right, let us put aside the colors, let us put aside affiliations, and seriously tackle the monster called crime? And somebody in the comments said it have to start from not only just gangs, but within the political arena itself.
Yeah, man, the political directorate, them is an X, you see?
So it's like, honestly, sometimes when you think about it, it actually feels hopeless. Like you said to yourself, say, me not see that change. I don't see any better coming from it.
It can change, man. Do we have
I'm not saying that
will?
it can't, I'm not saying that it can't change, but I'm saying, looking at it, it feels hopeless at times.
I know the feeling because, for example, like when the JSF releasing crime statistics and you said this down, and that's not how you feel on the ground. Like, it's a different vibe on the ground, brother. You see me I say? So, I get what you say, but look, sis, as I always tell you, there's nothing in this world that cannot be changed if there's a will to change it. Not at all. Can it change overnight? It absolutely won't, because the situation did not get to where it is overnight. Zane, but all of us will have to understand that we have to put away our petty partisan ways or our tribalistic ways and stop think orange and green and think black, gold and green.
Jamaica.
You see me I say? So that a part of the thing was still, like me tell us that the new garrison now is Twitter. Like when people on Twitter now, that's why I even bother go on, like, me like go on Twitter because they get information. Me even bother go there no more because it is really and truly a political garrison out there now. You understand what I say? That is where everybody, that is where the war is. Yeah, Twitter. In the Twitter streets, like, and you see some comments sometime and you say, yo, like, are we still so backward?
Are we still so dieharded?
Are we still so dumb?
Like, I would see somebody make a simple comment as maybe about, because we know we've been having a garbage problem,
Right.
the collection of garbage, and you know it has been a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Numerous places within the country.
Many places.
And somebody might simply say, boy, you know what, and I say, boy, something need for the body, garbage collection, whatever. And trust me, you see how quick, how a long time garbage are the problem, and when the next party did in a power garbage not pick up. I mean, like, how you reach there, so?
They might behave like what they might talk about, man. They might behave like a garbage.
How about say, all right, we have to go find a way to increase the number of trucks that are in rotation for garbage collection, whatever it is, but it automatically goes to, all right, your party do it and my party do it now, so why problem? So like, are we going to stay in that constant state where if your party do it, then my party can do it?
But
We
this
are
is
right?
about your party and my party.
I don't know if you know that way. Like we did,
Yo.
stop the rubbish.
Yo, hold on. The important comment. It said, if the borders remain loose, I was supposed to say that earlier, no? Crime can't stop. If laws aren't updated, crime can't stop. But Maurice, when the laws are being talked about to be updated, it's a next story that, I mean, some of the laws, them as they are suggested, need modifications, you know, get me wrong, you know. And that is why you table bills in Parliament to seek amendments where necessary. Zine, but then that is it. But it's not just guns, and not just guns alone, and not just murder, crime around. We know that is a scarier part of it, but you have only part of crimes that take place both in the family. Yeah, that's what I mean. I say. It's just that when somebody dies is a major thing, and I think we are fast reaching a state where it is becoming now. Oh, somebody else dead. It's becoming so commonplace and frequent. Like it is just the norm now. Like nobody's really alarmed. That's not true. Many people are not as alarmed as they used to be about certain things. This is how can they have multiple fatalities. You understand? But general feel is that, yo, every day is sitting at it. That is the point that I think, based on my observation, people are reaching. So I don't know, yeah, man. The political diehards, but I mean, I tell you, say, yo, me don't know my party and your party.
Crazy.
Me not even have a birthday party, much as we have party. Eh? No, but I seriously feel me never have that.
Yeah. I think the one birthday party I had is the one you guys.
Well, we keep for you.
Yeah.
You may never have that still, but me not feel long about it like.
I keep on feeling.
You know, I forgot to your way still, but you understand? I've never had that. You know, go to nobody keep it there.
No,
If you not
keep it.
If you not at, then no, I don't want it.
Then so me have to go to my way feet at.
But I say not to go to your way, but yeah, makes it sound like so no. Then anyway, I know you very well, you know.
I didn't mean that. You know that.
There seems to be a possibility regarding a class action lawsuit on behalf of citizens. So yeah, man. As I said, I said that earlier. Jamaica have no time to mourn. We have become so hardened. So yes, sis. But we could move on, because night are coming up. As I say, as night come here, I go in bed. You understand? Night are come by 11. So the Prime Minister, even before the SOE, he has been hitting back in his ways, you know film style, against the critics of the proposed new bail act and them something there. So he's saying rights debates thwarting crime response. Holness claims. So Prime Minister Andrew Holness has argued that his administration's response to the country's escalating crime and violence situation is being thwarted by debates about rights. But Mr. Prime Minister, there will be those, you know. Mr. Prime Minister, you couldn't really realistically expect for certain things said and people not debate it. Like, I don't say it work. I don't think I say it work. You understand? So saying that debates are thwarting, I don't necessarily know there will be a case where any leader say anything and the whole country accept it wholeheartedly. I don't think that we'll ever get there. You understand? We can't respond because every move we make, there is some legal argument and some political argument being made about the preservation of rights. The rights of who? It is never a debate about the rights of the victims, said Wholeness. Yes, Ms. Scott.
All right. So the political part, fine. That's the truth. But it cannot be that you are going to infringe on the citizens' rights.
And the citizens are not talk about it.
Yes.
Right.
So if it is that we are seeking to make a change, and yes, we at some point we are going to have to sacrifice, but it still cannot be that you would be infringing on the rights of the citizens. If you put forward something, you must expect that persons are going to debate, there are going to be counter arguments, and there are going to be arguments.
Questions have to be asked. It's
Naturally.
the thing, you understand?
If it's any other way where you just come give it and we have to take it, it's called a different type of governance.
Right. You mean like dictatorship, like?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, you teach type of government, you know, we can do a few things like
yeah,
that.
it's a different type. If it is that you just come and say, all right, the sky is blue and whether it's blue or not, we have to take it, then that's a different thing. But you propose something, they're going to be counter arguments.
That is how democracy works, really.
Yes, persons are going to be for it, persons are going to be against it. You know, the burden is on you to prove that this is what is best going forward. Show the evidence. But don't infringe on somebody's rights and then feel like, all right, so everybody are going to stick it like that. And we always agree, so we need measures in place to curb what is happening. Because what is happening now is chaotic, it's mayhem, it's crazy. It makes no sense. So we agree with that much.
Watch us style. He was speaking on the deadly shootings that led to a lockdown of Spanish Town, St. Catherine. 3 men were killed in the incidents, and the police have linked an internal feud in the One Order gang. Now, Wholeness, who is from Spanish Town, said the situation of organized crime in the old capital is a national emergency. And people, when he said people like, so the people them a clap. Like, what was said that you need to clap? Like, I have a video footage, you know, like, I never play it on the stream, you know, I never load it up. I
We clap for
everything we clap for mama.
You
just right. So what
clapping is our thing.
Yeah, we clap for everything. It has the potential, if not dealt with strongly and firmly and immediately, to claim many more lives, which is true, he said, noting that the social ethic of Jamaica needs to change to match the irresponsible ethic of those who seek to destroy our society. If you make bad decisions, you must face the consequences. And I am in full agreement with that. Like, there's no two ways. Wholeness said he wanted to communicate to frustrated Jamaicans who are questioning his administration's response to crime and violence. He argued the debate about rights when his government contemplates security measures does not give enough consideration to the rights of those people who suffer, those people who are killed, those people who are injured. Justice must be blind, but it cannot be deaf. It has to hear the cries of the victim, said Wholeness, adding that I can understand that there must be defense of our democracy and our rights, and I can understand, and indeed, I am the first defender of that. I am the defender of the Apache. Wholeness said, we cannot allow an emergency or a disaster to change the liberal nature of our democracy. There is no greater democrat than myself, but disorder will lead to anarchy. It is true. And where we are now with the average person in Jamaica, it is that if they can't get law, they will settle for order. So those who believe that their very eloquent pronouncements about rights are finding favor with the masses of people, what they are doing is increasingly alienating the people from the system of justice and law enforcement. I do not have the luxury to be deterred, so I pronounce that thing so, on these matters anymore. We have to act on it. We have to act to protect the innocent law-abiding citizens. I agree. The debate over the Wholeness administration's response to crime intensified last week after Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs Marlene Malahou Fort said a new bail act will be proposed with provisions to deny bail to persons on gun and murder charges. The Constitution guarantees bail for every person charged with an offense subject to some exceptions to be imposed by a court. So the government's use of states of emergency have also resulted in criticisms. And Jamaica has one of the highest murder rates in the world, with more than close to 50 per 100,000 of the population killed yearly. Yeah, so the Prime Minister said the debate has slow empty. But there has to be a debate, Mr. Prime Minister. That is what democracy is. You understand? You don't expect that suggestions will be made. And I understand that tough time call for tough measures, and don't get me wrong. But expecting that there will be no debate, that is not realistic. You understand? That is unrealistic. There will have to be debate. As I said, that is how democracy works. Do we need tougher penalties for criminals? Of course we do. Is there a situation where some people who are involved in criminality should not be offered bail? I agree with that. You understand? But it can't be said, okay, the moment you're charged of murder. If you can't have a man, Scotty Biscuit, who is on him third murder charge, a grant bail. It's just that now the judiciary should be so efficient that that case is brought through the system in a very timely manner.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? That's how it is, you know. So, while we are creating laws and modifying laws, we have to be cognizant that, you know what I mean? It's still a democratic country and the Constitution speaks to certain things. So, and this is coming from somebody who, as I've said before, it cannot be business as usual. No. The things that we have been doing for the past 2-3 decades to treat with crime, they have not worked to any great effect, and as such, some reorganization, some rejigging, some modification has to be made. Some tough decisions will have to be made. Some tough things will have to happen. But in saying that too, based on what the Constitution of the country provides to its citizens, that has to be taken into some form of consideration. But again, there has to be an acceptance that it cannot be business as usual, Scotty Biscuit, and some things will have to happen significantly different from how they're happening to treat with the situation. You see me? So, there is that. How much are we willing to give up as a country? It's left to be seen. Are we willing to give up anything as a country? See, are we going to be political about this thing and continue to treat with the Russian roulette of our lives? Because every day you go out, as I've always, any day you go up on the road and going back, you have to give thanks, you know. I mean, it come for your yard too, but out on the street,
anywhere.
It's just like you don't even know sometimes. You just at the wrong place at the wrong time. That is just a
Anywhere.
regular thing.
Anywhere.
But
It's
Teach
open
and Scott,
season.
if you notice, the SOE and Zozos have become the norm. I think it's unfortunately the best. Right, so we are saying it cannot. So, Adrian, and we have said that. We said that whilst the Constitution provides for the use and utilization of SOEs, it cannot be indefinite. It can't be a perennial thing. It's called a state of emergency. See, but as Scotty said, we have been living in a state of emergency. So, I know, yeah, man. Yeah, so, the bail debate continues, sis. The Chief Justice himself, public enemy number one, based on what we see in the street. And I spoke about the release of the 4 or 5 men in the London gang trial recently. And, you know, people have said the chief, money change on and the Chief Justice need to be calm on yourself. And I sat in this chair and I explained to those who are willing to listen that it is the investigators, the onus is on investigators and prosecutors to prove guilt in a court of law. You can't build shoddy case and expect to get convictions. See? how would you as a citizen feel to know that a case is brought against you in the court, very poor evidence, very weak evidence, and you are convicted? So whilst we are emotional and say, yo, the whole I man never got to prison because Ray and T, if the investigators did not build a case to convict and the prosecutors did not convince the court to convict, then what do you think the judge are going to do? Convict them and then go court of appeal and we turn around and cuss the judge again. It's like, come on, man. I'm picking up guns like stone these days. This time an AK and a Tech 9, boy, I get pepper. Shit, man. Shh. In the cup. Buy a drink, teach. Alright, Miss. Invest. Big up yourself, bro.
Good night, invest.
Go on to the work, broski. Go on to the work. I never knew there was more gangs in Spanish Town. Think it was one. What you said, Andre? Back in the days, it was gang versus gang, sir.
It has always been the two.
Yeah,
the two
man.
prominent ones. Hold on, bro.
So,
Get me a screen a little bit, please.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. Big up yourself, you know, sir, invest. We appreciate the service to the country, bro. Like, you know one thing, just be careful out there. Zane, mad. In the current state, it doesn't matter how many new laws we implement. Won't make a difference unless we address accountability part. The current laws are not being implemented. 16 ducky, but yes, fair enough. But also you have some laws that don't make no sense neither, bro. Teach them that Judge Sky should not be defense attorney. That is a defense attorney. Me not get what you mean. What you mean, Father Brown? Me not get that. How is a judge a defense attorney? Me not understand the statement. Ducky, so clear up that, clarify. Probably I mean I interpret it right. The evidence was strong in this case. Yes, but the evidence against who, Mr. Morgan? So there are 31, 32, 30 plus people. See? And each person is charged on various indictments. You understand? So, saying the evidence was strong is one. Based on what you hear in the streets or hear from reports. But actually being, and I'm just saying, I'm just a try, as I said, what I try to do is to try to bring balance to the conversation. Because I know that on one side of the fence, you have X views and one side you have Y views. Zane, and I just try to bring some balance and be fair to everybody. Zane and thing. Then they're talking about negotiate with criminals. And one man to some man, and he has backtracked on those. We need more undercover cops in Jamaica acting like locals to bust these gangs. Teacher, I think that's the reason why criminals have been multiple charged and can still end up busting the case due to serious structural weaknesses in Jamaica's justice system. Jamaica cannot pay government workers where the money coming from to settle these lawsuits. They can't or they don't want to. Yes, teach, but the judge is making the argument that the defendant should make checks in argument. He means that the arguments that the judge is arguing is for the defense attorney. I don't think that is how the law works. That is what you think. But I don't think that is how the law works. So what you think versus what obtains are two different things, you know. See, the court of popular opinion and the court of law are two different things. But I have to say that. I'm not about to say that no more. You ready again, teacher?
Yeah.
So you look first. Oh, you look alright. You understand? So cases, most of the questions Sykes asked, the defendant should be asking. Again, so yeah, man, teach. Can you tell me how someone that something get 12 years, girl, and someone that kill a man get 7 years? All right, so that's a sentencing guidelines. We soon talk about that, Marriott, and that's a very good question, guys. Put it this way: I am not a lawyer. I am not a judge. I have no legal training. Anything I speak legally is from what me hear or read. You know, as we go along, up teach me say Paula face and your interest of the clocky. You see it? So we have to put it on it every week, Silver. Make sure you're clocky.
Make sure you're in,
right.
Right?
So and as I said, when I speak from a position of trying to bring balance to the conversation. And all I am saying about the Chief Justice is that in his wisdom, as he's a chief justice, the chief judge in the country. See? And he, based on his experience, is saying, look, we're going to do some better investigative work, man. Prosecutors will come better than that. See? You can't, and again, we are saying some general things about the evidence was good and the evidence was that. Remember, say a 30-yard man, you know, brother. A 30-yard man we are talking about, you know. So if, and again, statistically speaking, I don't see where the 30-odd men were going to be convicted. And as a matter of fact, 5 have been acquitted already. Chances are quite a few more may be acquitted based on what is now coming out of the courts. See? I not defend Justice Sykes. I not defend nobody. I'm just saying our feelings and opinions versus law and matters of the law don't mean much. And the sooner we accept that, the better we'll be able to understand and interpret certain things. Because just like you, just like me, we are emotional beings, and many a times our emotions is what we use to lead our consciousness and our thoughts and our opinions. See? So yes, 30 men in front of the court, the 30 of them for go to prison. Yes, the onus is on the investigators to provide the evidence and the prosecutors in conjunction with the investigators to build a case strong enough so there's no reasonable doubt whether in the jury's mind or the judge's mind that a conviction should be the result. Because the truth is, I have seen cases where judge sentence man and man appeal and the court of appeal acquit them, and we see one turn around and beat the judge them. So if the judge don't feel like there's enough evidence to convict the man and them, then it's who for fault that? It's not the judge's fault. It is the investigators and who are prosecute the case. That is all I am trying to make you guys understand. But because we are so, you know what I mean? One way, we don't want to accept it. See? That is it, you know. And thing. So, Chief Justice Bryan Sykes rebuffs bail critics. So we soon talk about the case. We are talking about the bail situation now. So the Chief Justice pointed to legislation in defending judges' decision to grant bail to persons charged with serious crimes, arguing that if the prosecution disagrees, there is provision for appeal. Hold on there. Alright. I'm going to treat with a particular topic now. In about 8 or so minutes, I bring it in. See? So I'm going to send you the link and you just have to follow the instruction when you're ready. Oh, yeah, I wonder who that.
Always want to know who the player for.
Alright, Wandering Sheep. Sykes commented on the controversial matter in his keynote address at the National Public Education Symposium recently. So, Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, Marlene Malahou-Fort, has suggested that persons charged with gun crimes or murder be denied bail pending trial. So, the minister's proposal to amend the Bail Act to support his, to support this, let me read that again. So, the minister's proposal to amend the Bail Act to support this found favor with the Police High Command, which has insisted that the majority of persons charged with serious crimes often reoffend while out on bail. But Sykes pointed to the Court of Appeal's 2018 guidance in the matter involving Yui, Gowdy, on how the bail process should be handled. Sykes noted that judges are to take into account the risk of the defendant absconding, the risk of the defendant interfering with the course of justice, preventing crime, preserving public order, and the necessity of detention to protect the defendant, among other things. Now, in 2010, the Bail Act was amended, and one of the important provisions, Section 10, was amended and has been there for a decade now, and that provision survived the constitutional challenge, Sykes said. Now, Section 10 of the Bail Act speaks to the right of appeal. So, subsection 2 outlines that where bail is granted to a defendant by a court pursuant to the Act, the prosecution may appeal to a judge of the court to appeal in respect of the decision. So the judge has said, if me give a bail, the prosecution has the right of appeal. So, I don't know. In plain English, what this means is that if the judges in the trial court grant bail, Parliament gave the prosecution a right of appeal. It has been there for over 10 years. The question is, has that provision been utilized by the Crown? And if so, how many times? And with what result? Sykes question. You don't have to file any document. You just have to say, Judge, we're going to appeal to start the process. So when I listened to all that is being said, I had to go back and read this because clearly something is wrong with my comprehension because we could not be reading the same thing, he added. So when we have persons making all sorts of pronouncements about judges granting bail, have they looked at the statute? More importantly, have they read the statute? And having read, have they sought to utilize the power given under the statute? The war continues. So he's saying that when a judge give bail, the prosecution can, as a matter of fact, normally, based on my understanding of the bail thing, if the prosecution is opposed to bail, they will present an argument as to why bail should not be granted. Mm-hmm. And if they so are able to convince the judge, then bail is denied. Mm-hmm. But if the judge grant bail, the prosecution, I didn't know this, also have the authority to appeal the judge's granting of bail. Some I don't know. You see it? So, Marriott asked a question just now. How can you sentence somebody 12 years to thief sitting and somebody kills somebody and you give them 7 years? Sentencing guidelines, my friend, they are not uniform and it's not the same judge, and judge have discretionary powers and the mitigating factors and the aggravating factors and all sort of factors and social inquiry report and all of them something. However, the Chief Justice again, when I don't know the Chief Justice yet.
What Chief?
The parish court judges to get sentencing guidelines. So sentencing guidelines have been put in place for our judges operating at parish courts. The judiciary says the guidelines, which takes immediate effect, will assist in greater consistency in the punishment of persons convicted of crimes. So the document was launched at the same thing where the Chief Justice did that. So it is geared towards streamlining the sentencing process across the parish courts and creating a greater sense of uniformity in the possible sentences to be meted out to offenders who have been found guilty. Payne, thanks to the contribution earlier. I just pop up in my head. I did say thanks to that. Big up yourself, family. Zine, so as Marriott asked earlier, sis, so apparently they are trying to bring some uniformity to sentencing. Mm-hmm. You understand? Because some sentences really shock the public from time to time. So in a statement, Chief Justice Bryan Sykes said the judiciary is pleased to have moved towards demystifying the process judges go through when an accused person is to be sentenced. This will give attorneys, their clients, and indeed the public a clear indication as to what the possible sentence could be based on the nature of the offense. In the past, criticisms have been levied against the judiciary in relation to sentences handed down to persons who have been found guilty. The judiciary says it is hoping that the sentencing guidelines will result in a greater understanding of the sentencing process and remove misconceptions. A lot of those exist now. Understandably, members of the public ought to take an interest in how this important societal function is carried out by judges. It is therefore necessary for our judges to indicate how and why a particular sentence was passed. The necessity to give reasons contributes to the rule of law, Sykes said. He further explained, giving reasons makes it easier to determine whether the judge has engaged in the appropriate thought processes and taken into consideration the necessary factors. It assures the defendant that he or she is not being treated as an abstraction and conveys to the victim that his or her tribulations are recognized and punished. Nonetheless, Sykes noted that variations are likely to occur with sentencing because sentences are determined by, as I said earlier, by mitigating and aggravating circumstances that are unique in every case. You see, me not so dunce, you know? Me not so dunce. You understand? only emotion is admissible in court. Emotion is not admissible in
It's
court.
not admissible.
Once one or more of the over 21 types of evidence is presented, if it deems weak, that accused will be acquitted. Big up yourself, invest, give thanks. Yeah, man. And this is a law enforcement personnel right here, so speaking. See? So, we show there, so now. Right, so as I said, different factors will be taken. So 2 men commit murder, Scotty British. A murder, you know, murder, you know. See? But one is given 25 to life, and one is given 10 years. And you say, they don't see a murder. But what were the circumstances surrounding each murder? What were the mitigating factors? What were the aggravating factors? See? And all of them things. Has one of the men show remorse? Does the one who get 25 to life, if they have previous conviction? The one who get 10 years, is it in first offense? So all of these things are taken into consideration. Mrs. You want to sleep, you know, but you have a long time to go. The roads are rocky and the hills are steep. The macca scratches and the gully is deep.
No.
Also, the town is far, news travel slow, and the mountain men had far to go. You don't know that?
No.
Right. You have to go back to school. I'm telling you, say culture last for one, you know. The
I was
Ballad of
calling,
65. That is the Ballad of 65.
I don't know it.
Detailing the Morant Bay Rebellion.
I don't know it.
You never hear about that yet?
I'm not going to lie.
Never search sheet and
It's
read.
not that I never hear. I don't know it.
Oh, you don't
Like
know
how
it?
you can recite it, I can't.
Okay. School days, the next know. I hear you. So, let me continue this. We shop there. So. Right. So these guidelines are just that, guidelines. They assist in the structure of one's thoughts and the actions at the sentencing phase of a criminal trial. The punishment should be appropriate for the crime, the defendant, and the circumstances. There is nothing wrong with departing from the guidelines where the judge sees fit. Departure should be clearly explained, Sykes said. At the same time, the Chief Justice asserted that there is a current imbalance in the approach to sentencing. It appears too preoccupied with the rights of the defendant and insufficiently concerned about the impact of the crime on the victim. Be reminded that no one is compelled to commit a crime. The commission of a crime is always a choice, regardless of the defendant's circumstances. He added, a lot of people should read this article, I think. You understand? Jamaican government will not take advice from outsiders. Sergeant Watson. And the Watcher. Howdy! Calvin, when you deal with the youth? And thing. With this current Chief Justice, strong evidence or weak evidence, nothing ever strong enough for Bryan Sykes. So Bryan Sykes has never sentenced anybody, Mr. Morgan. The current laws aren't being implemented, so the new ones won't make a difference. 16 Ducky, I may hear your point earlier, sir. And I said then, and I'll repeat, yes, I may hear you. However, many of the laws and the books now don't make no sense, family. So they have to be fixed as well. And thing, brother, tell us when I'm ready for you and talk to you. You see me? And something. You understand? So, what am I tell you? But alright, I'm going to bring in a guest like, on a local level. Quick and fast. See, when you forward that, you see. Yeah, man, go ahead and try again, family. Auntie, yes, sir. So, so I have one more article about the Chief Justice. No. The one that's very critical. You understand? And thing. Assigned to guess 2 right there, so. I guess 2. The guess alone here, so. Brother, fix
up, daddy. What go on?
Hold on, let me take a hold on. But I have a thing here, so yeah. Alright, yeah, man. My youth, you're lighting poor, brother, man.
I mean, you know, see my face, man.
Me I see about then when you go to the people, you have to go to the people, them nice, brother. Big up yourself, man. Introduce yourself for the people, them, bro.
Yo, you don't know. Talk friend of the living for you. This is poor people defender. You don't know what they are, man. Teach them. You beat them. Yeah, man. Give thanks to life, you know.
All is well.
Driving right now, fall away from New York. We just wait at Boston. You don't know.
So
We are
everything
perform tonight.
perform tonight and then the event at tomorrow.
Boston Culture Fest tonight, but tomorrow the big night too as well. Chuck Fender birthday party. 3340 Main Street, Hartford, Connecticut. And the biggest thing is that
Yeah,
it's
man, now waste no time with it, man. There's some plug.
No, I can know say the biggest thing.
So hold on, before no man, I come at it out. Look, Zane, first thing, happy belated birthday, bro.
Give thanks to life, daddy man. You don't know. Give thanks to life for being here again, seeing we and I go on to the music and I go on and get the music strength and lift up Jamaica banner and the flag high around the world, same way. You know, we give thanks to that and we give thanks for the love of the fans them and the love of the people them, you know.
Yeah, man. So talk to us about the event now, location, all of them time, all of them something now.
All right, Hartford is a place where we grew up to, you know. You don't know, you know what I mean? You know, we have a family over here. You don't know, we youth them over here, family. You know what I mean? But you don't know. It's like a welcome home for Chuck Fender too as well. It's like a homecoming. Cause we used to go to school at Hartford. You know what I mean? And we grew up as well. You don't know we balance and there with Jamaica and everything, but you don't know we used to live here before. So it's like a homecoming plus a birthday party as well. You know what I mean? So you don't know, say, at 97 I go there, the Bobby Condas and Jabba, Metro Media son, Bojangles, Being the Worries son, you know what I mean? Black Hustler, you know what I mean? Name it, Anai, Chuck Fender, Spanner Bonnet, the amount of artists better, you know what I mean? Every day a different artist a line up has come through, because I don't know, say, a Fender thing, a thing off of the chain, you don't know, Liberty there, you don't know, the whole Spanish Town, the whole Spanish Town came on a sparkling, the whole Portmore, the normal something, Chuck Fender something, you know, so everything a big something that it.
Yeah,
you see me I deal with?
Yeah, and you say all is manners and respect, family, blessings. You say all is in place for the event, bro.
Yeah, man, everything is in place, man. You don't know, say, you know what I mean, safety is a must. So you don't know, say, the West Indian Social Club in the back, the back part of the West Indian Social Club. So it's 3340 Main Street, Hartford, Connecticut. You can't miss that. People that come from Philadelphia, people that come from Bronx, people that come from Brooklyn, the whole Connecticut lineup. You know what I mean? So something we just have because we know about it. So anyway you're there, we are shut down Connecticut tomorrow. Chuck Fender birthday party can't be no normal something. Everybody are roll out, teach them. You don't know. You remember you send me on to the world too, you know. Teacher, you have one of the biggest program in the world too, you know. Want to think say your thing normal, man. I want to man. Job over everything in the man. Celestia the first, anything else illusion in the man. Teach.
Give thanks, bro. You said that for day one for choosing. I appreciate that.
Teach them when tell me your reason over the beach, and I say teach them your program is gonna be one of the biggest programs. You know, everywhere I go, when we do your interview, everywhere I go, people are coming from all about Japan, people are coming from Europe, people are coming all over in America, the Caribbean. I say, teach them. We love the interview. But a real thing, teach them. We have to wise up the youth, then we have to take the gun out of the youth them, and we have to make the youth them know so it's more to life than just war and crime. You see me I deal with when people come when youth come over here, some say over here, some say, things over here so you can make money over here so them can help them family, them can build up themselves, them can send a food go Jamaica and take some youth out of the gutter. So why kill each other? You know what I mean? I say why stop each other? You know what I mean? We don't need that right now. You know what I mean? We need for us to know say unification, we are dealing a good over evil, we are saying no. A life over death. You know what I mean? They don't know say prosperity, upliftment. You know what I mean? We don't need to do them because stupid right now. Build for us, build and unite and so we are make a whole heap of money. We are help ourselves. We are teach the youth them. You know what I mean? Like how you used to teach them. You know what I mean? We are educate the youth them. We are make them know say go on out there, go make it youth and come build up yourself and build up your family and help some youth. Take some youth out of the gutter too as well. Send some youth go to school, go teach them, make them get education. Build up some things so youth have things too. You know what I mean? And them type of thing that we are dealing with. Chuck Fender, the fire never cool, you know, say with them not see we there in the studio. The new album I drop September 5th. So much things teach them. 5 them probably that. You must say
come back, when they reach here again, we need to link up, but they have a lot to say, bro.
The month we are coming, man. You don't know when I left it to them, man. You don't know a Portmore for sure, you came on a spot the whole night. I live out today, from Manchester Street.
Spanish Town.
Man, live out to pick up yourself, man. So, bro, here we go on. Remind me again about the event. Remind the people again about the event.
Tomorrow the event, 3340 Main Street, Hartford, Connecticut. If you need information, them can call 862-347-1162. That 862-347-1162. If you need information, you can get tickets on Eventbrite, everything, bro. You know what I mean? Just come out tomorrow. Chuck Fender birthday party.
How much
Hartford,
your admission, man? You didn't tell me that yet?
Pre-sold tickets, $30, little bit of money, $40 to do. Yo, some sure people now $200-$300 for VIP. We're not
It's a little bit of money.
And we're the poor people defend that we can't kill the people that we want to come up with the message. We want to come up with the message in a better. And the message we want to come up with.
But sorry, say never hear the thing now. We couldn't pass through, come show some real support still, but one of them time.
On tour daddy and the birthday fall in one spot. Yeah, I could do something hard for it. Because right now, a Boston Culture Festival, you know. Boston with it right now, you know.
And you drive Bradford to my night.
Right now, we park up in the car right now. We just reach at the hotel, the Marriott. And we're there in the car. I say, yo, man, I forgot to teach them things. Now move over to the car because I'm not going to teach them and do film thing before we go there. See that? And I care with the daddy. See that?
That's a word, man. One thing, man. All right, bro. So, you want to go on. All the best for the performance in the night. We know you don't feel when you go on stage still. So just do the maths.
You can't feel that we're living fire in a man. I want to as a teacher. You don't know thing yet. I go and drunk with them. Ready for trample them. Tell them to move. Or else me dismantle them. Fire off he run again. Wicked off he run again. All who claim say them no like me don't want to see them. The blood they yell me say ya go on. They say from the other day. How is some boy a study, how is some man a DJ. All people a get shot and baby a get slay. Who a mash up judge a earth right and know what he go pay. Big bad dog a ball up mercy father. Judgment come and your days a get shatter. Innocent life you dash way across the border. Now if you escape go climb up in a yo. I go and drunk with them. Ready for trample them. Tell them
Bam. What advice? Let me get it, man.
Respect daddy, man. I'm all up daddy, man. Give
I love, bro. Say all the best in the night, yeah? And safe travel after event, brother. And hope you have a successful event tomorrow. You see me, I say, bro?
Salute,
yeah,
daddy.
Man.
Salute. Hartford, Connecticut tomorrow. Friend birthday party. Bang!
Sister on the call, you know, you're not bigger up.
Sis. Oh, big up, sis. You don't know, so we love your Empress. Yo. Sometimes the fire. She never said that. We have blood sometimes. Sorry, Empress. You don't know, we love her. We don't teach them our brother.
Fire.
What the true name?
Yo, Gun Drunker.
Gun Drunker, okay. All right. When you're ready, let me get it.
Tell them to check out YouTube. Tell them to follow Chuck Fender on Instagram. Chuck_Fender. CHUCK_FENDA. Teach them.
Chuck, you know what we need for do? We need for brush up at the interview and do the thing. When it formula right, you know. You understand what I say? So our thing more advanced and our thing. So anytime you're ready, man, we make it happen again, man.
Love you, my brother.
Art of love, bro. Every time, man. Guidance. Liberty. Big up yourself.
Art of love, brother.
Man. Guidance.
Yeah.
Mad.
Living fire.
Living fire. Living fire. All right. Yeah, man. So, you know, events, you know, maybe a strength. Yeah, man, and thing. So, yeah, peeps. So, one done D-Day. So, black man and others to know fate of gang case when judge rules on Monday. Chief. What you mean? You know, you're not follow. You know.
No, I'm just being mischievous.
Oh, yeah, be serious. Chief Justice Bryan Sykes is to rule Monday on the no-case submissions made for 24 of the 28 remaining alleged gangsters in the Klansman Wandan gang trial, including reputed leader Andre Blackman Bryan. So a 5-3, so that means 28, so 33 man in the trial. With the majority of the defense lawyers for the batch while the majority of defense lawyers for the batch had sought to have the entire case thrown out, Bryan's lead attorney, Lloyd McFarlane, had owned, and this is important, listen to this, let me read this, because people don't listen and read them. While the majority of defense lawyers for the batch, which is the 28, had sought to have the entire case thrown out, Bryan's lead attorney, Lloyd McFarlane, had only challenged one of the 13 remaining counts against his client. He was indicted on 17 counts, but the prosecution had abandoned 6 of the 17 indictments, including 4 that involved him. You follow what I'm going on? The high-profile case commenced last September with 33 defendants, including 1 woman. 4 defendants Damian Elliston, we soon talk about him. Rushane Williams, Rivaldo Hilton, and Owen Ormsby were freed last month for lack of evidence, while a fifth, Dwayne Salmon, walked shortly after on similar grounds. Justice Sykes adjourned the matter on Thursday, but not before again raising concerns about the prosecution's failure to present affirmative evidence. In relation to one of the murders, the judge questioned if he should accept statements on the basis of faith after no records had been submitted in relation to the crime scene. No picture, no tape, no nothing in a moment. He also criticized the police's outdated approach to investigation. The scene was in relation to the August 2015 murder of Damian Dowley Forrester on Chancery Street in St. Andrew. The officer who had processed that scene had testified that she had taken photographs, but that the compact disc on which they were stored had disappeared. Further, the server on which they were stored had reportedly developed problems and crashed, resulting in the photographs being lost. Can't be that you have a homicide in the 21st century and you have no record, the judge said, indicating similar circumstances of no records tied to another murder in the trial. These are the things that people need to listen to and stop being emotional. You don't want the man convict man without evidence, then what kind of justice that? And then when you convict the man without evidence and then go court of appeal and bust the case, you hear all sorts of things. It's either we want justice or we don't want justice. We can't only want justice when we want justice. We have to want justice right across the board. Mm-hmm. You see me? So we continue. If the police officers recover these things, they don't have to record it somewhere. No, if the police officers recover these things, they don't have to record it somewhere. Contemporaneous record. They don't have to be stored somewhere. They don't have to exhibit registers. So even if you have the images of the photographs, so even if you say the images of the photographs are lost, computer crash, there's not even a record from the lab to say I received these items. So it doesn't just end with, oh, I can't find the photographs. The judge compared what had transpired in that matter to the double murder arson case in the trial where spent casings were recovered and submitted according to procedure. But the prosecutor indicated that the two incidents were the only ones that had evidence about the chain of custody of the 10 shootings and murder incidents cited in the trial. He also noted that spent casings that were recovered from the double murder arson in New Nursery, St. Catherine, where a couple, Jermaine Bryan and Cedella Walder, were shot and killed, and their premises set ablaze on September 9, 2017, had matched a firearm that was allegedly taken from the defendant Tariq James 8 days after the deaths. Further, he recalled that the court had heard testimony that Bryan had taken the gun from James and had shot the male victim during the murder arson. However, in relation to the judge's concerns regarding the data, the prosecutor told the court the evidence is what it is. The evidence is what it is.
Take it or leave it.
The evidence, I don't know that. They are telling them the evidence is what it is. On Wednesday, Justice Sykes advised the Crown to consider that no records had been presented to the court with regard to the chain of custody for items taken from different crime scenes. He also raised concerns about the absence of evidence detailing how information from the telecommunications company that was used to provide the call and cell site data was captured and transmitted to the database in which it was stored. Now, Bryan and 32 others were initially charged on a 25-count indictment for being part of a criminal organization. So, Miss Scott, here we are where we get very emotional. Mm-hmm. And we say a lot of things speaking emotionally. And the truth is that it is not the judge's fault. It is the police and the prosecution's fault.
But how?
The judge don't seek evidence. How what?
The internet are free, so
yeah.
I'm saying, how could in this day and age? I want something picture then, Devon.
No, it depends on the disk and the disk last, and then it depends on the server, server crash.
Sorry, yes. if I mark SBA, and this is something very trivial, I'm not having it one place just like that.
You'd be
I am backing
careless.
it up. Me have back it up and me have 2 drive with it. Me put
You'll
it
be very
somewhere. Me
careless.
email it to myself. All these things. Because me I go want to keep it just in case one way feels to have another way. So in this time, how? Why?
And again, let me put this out there because some people hear what they want to hear. Now. I am in no way, shape, or form defending the accused, the judge, the police, the prosecution. All I am simply saying is that the court of law is what it is. The court of law. And the court of law operates on different premise from the court of public opinion that is driven by emotions. The prosecution and the police force drop the ball. It's not the judge. So me, everybody I talk about the judge, this is the judge that, the judge that. Step back and look at the bigger picture. The judge cannot convict without evidence. Whilst you'd want that to happen, the judge cannot. Would you like to be convicted without evidence if you go in front of the courts? So irrespective of how you feel about the men involved in the trial, if there's no evidence to convict them, they have to go. And the night when I addressed this, I told you that it is high time that investigators in this country do their jobs properly. We saw it in the Uchen's Wilson gang trial. We saw it in the Kings Valley gang trial. Same story. The judge cannot convict men without evidence and purely hearsay. And that's how like the law work. So some of the times we need to just come out of emotions and just look at the thing for what it is. As the prosecution said, the evidence is what it is. I never see them sit there for that, man. So Paula and our team and the investigators, them drop the ball. You don't bring case, run go court if you know say in already. And I pray and say, watch and see.
Well, silver there when you make them come in, you make me.
Nah, man, you see, what people don't understand is that when me just talk is as it is, when a time for me tell them if you love Paula, me I tell them, but no, Paula and her team and the investigators them, and them drop the ball family. So the judge, want the judge to convict the man for what? And then you hear say them appeal, and we see him one come now, come cost the judge. Doesn't that make no sense? We have to decide what kind of justice we want. We want pure justice or we want conditional justice?
Conditional justice. Conditional.
So we hear a lot of things during the trial and the prosecution witness said what he had to say. But that is just one part of the case. So you know figure out who you need to put the responsibility of the case at them foot. The judge not collect no evidence. The judge is sorting through the evidence or lack thereof in some instances. And if there's no evidence to convict a man, then how you expect the judge to convict the man? That is what me ask you. And as I have said before, statistically speaking, it is almost impossible for 33 men involved in a gang trial and all 33 men are convicted. It not going to happen. Because you have different levels of involvement in the thing, and it is very difficult to build a case against 33 men one time. DeAndre, that is for you to say, because I'm sure that many people are serving long sentences in prisons. So I don't know about that still. So that again, you talk of emotions now, bro. And I same thing me I talk about. Yo! Jaja. So there we go. And me talk to you about this already. Me just talk to you again because it would be remiss of me as an educator not to educate. You understand? The court of law and the court of public opinion. And you know, funny enough, for that statement that we make when Doc linked me and said, I am so impressed to hear a young man saying that. That's what I link they make, you know. Lawyer friend. Yeah, man. So, the court, is that the same thing? Well, so one of the thing for a particular way sometimes, it just don't work out that way there. You understand? Because the court of law relies on facts and evidence, not opinions and emotions. Yeah, man. They enjoy a lot of the emotion thing, man, and not say that, because many people are served time. Then ball drop there. So I could deal with some of that. So I'm done with all of them rights and court and all of them things. So we'll see what happens on Monday. And we'll take it from there. So we're watching just like everybody else. You understand? Which are we there now? 10 o'clock. Whistle. All of it. Talk about the evidence by the police who infiltrated the gang, and even his testimony tape was almost tossed. Bro, me can't go talk about every detail of the thing. You understand? The people who were indicted on that charge, I don't know if they have been freed. You understand? So I can't talk about any specific, I am just saying, based on what is happening, you guys are berating the judge, and the judge is simply doing his job with what was presented in front of him. So we're putting the blame at the foot of the wrong person. That is the point that we are making. And you can assume, sir, that you don't know every detail that transpires in the court every day. You get a summarized version by reporters. You don't have the transcripts of the trial. I don't have the transcripts of the trial. So I don't know every single detail that goes on. So it would be very, very wrong of me to pretend that I do. I don't. I'm just saying, based on the acquittal so far, the judge, in his opinion, did not have enough evidence to convict. And so the men were acquitted. And I've said again, I wouldn't be surprised if quite a few more of these 28 men are acquitted. Because our investigators need to do better. Our prosecutors in preparing these cases need to be more prepared. We always have put the blame on the wrong people them in each situation. Because our emotions are lead with. So whilst you are of the view that, okay, them involved in this and them for all of them for go to prison, I don't say a word. It is the onus of the crown, the onus is on the crown to convince the judge to them for go to prison by providing the evidence to do so. It's as simple as that. You understand? So we not get into the technicalities and a specific, oh crap, not specific thing, but not. No man, that's something I'm to my screen. See? And think. I don't know them. I'm just saying. But make we move on. Because again, Kevin, big up yourself in the youth. Look like a pastor. You know a pastor?
Of course, me know Kevin we always say.
Yeah. So, probably collected and documented. Properly collected and documented evidence at that. Just so I think Richie, man. But, as me say, what I try to do, and let me put this out there again, because some people don't really understand that. I don't travel with an agenda. I don't travel with biases, but I try not to. You understand? And even if me feel a particular way about a particular thing, in the back of my mind, I still try to be fair to everybody that me discuss a particular thing. Zane, and as me say, I have seen it many times where we attribute blame where there should be none, and the people who shouldn't have blame, we're not blaming them. We are blaming the judge for when it big in front of we eye. Say I know that's the problem there. And then when the man them got appeal them conviction and they are acquitted, we hear this and hear that. So if you're going to do the justice thing right, I could do it right now, man. If the glove don't fit, you acquit, man. So the thing go, and the emotions do it. Our feelings, how we feel. Feelings are running a code, family. Wanted man captured and illegal gun seized in Gregory Parks, Portmore. So a wanted man was arrested and an illegal gun was seized by the police in Gregory Park, area of Portmore, St. Catherine this morning. I mean, as the SOE starting up. Head of operations for the St. Catherine North South Police Division, Superintendent Hopetown Nicholson, says he was apprehended during a cordon and search operation. Nicholson said the man was a person of interest who figured prominently in a number of criminal activities in the division in recent times. We will be using the emergency powers to full effect to address acts of criminality while we maintain the rights of all concerned, Nicholson said. So the state of public emergency was declared for the parish today, and the Gregory Park community has figured in police blotters with murders and shootings. On Wednesday, 2 bodies were found in a parked vehicle in the area, and the matter is still being investigated. Right. There's one next story I need to find. One of the accused, one of the men acquitted, you see?
Yeah.
I didn't find it. I'm not finding it. One of the 5 men who were acquitted in the ongoing gang trial by Chief Justice Bryan Sykes was arrested and charged after he was found in possession of 2 illegal firearms. I think on Tuesday morning, sometime Tuesday. You remember me sitting in a chair and me talk to the man them and me tell the man them, say, family, this is a second chance. To sort out your life. You understand? Put the past behind you. Zine?
Start anew, start afresh.
I think it is, me call him name earlier now, cause, but me can't find the article. I don't know where the article is. But we could move on, but yes, he one of the 5 is in custody. You understand? So it look like him and them, boy, I don't know. Like they set him on them somewhere, yeah, man. They set them somewhere. I want the article there. Me almost sure me script the article. Big one thing. But I tell you, don't lie. No? Really?
It's not in it. That's scroll through and you see.
But he, let me tell you his which one, because I think Damien Elliston, I think. Elliston. So he was held with 2 illegal guns. And the police are suggesting, well, in the report, that he may have been involved in some of the things that go on in recent times. So, I don't know.
I don't like that.
You don't like that for him?
No.
Okay. Banker charged following cocaine bust in St. James. You're banking on the wrong thing. A female bank employee is in police custody following a major cocaine bust in St. James. A probe is underway into the seizure of 24 pounds of cocaine with a street value of $550,000 US. During an anti-narcotics operation in Goodwill, St. James on Wednesday, so about 80 million Jamaican dollars in some other region. According to the police, about 6 p.m., a Toyota Prado was intercepted at a property in Goodwill. 10 packages containing the cocaine were allegedly found inside the vehicle. Not the vehicle, the vehicle. The female occupant, who identified herself as an employee of a prominent bank in Montego Bay, was taken into custody. During the search of a 2-story house occupied by the woman, a number of magazines and the 12 9mm rounds were reportedly found in a bedroom. They were sleeping. She was later charged with breaches of the Dangerous Drugs Act and the Firearms Act. I think she tried to elude the police as well, and like a mini chase going somewhere in the region.
Okay.
Yeah, man, some things. No, I have been speaking about this for a long time, so I say it again. Police warn against sharing videos of children involved in sexual acts.
Them
You will
not
go
warn me.
prison for.
They not for warn me.
The police are warning the public that it is an offense to share videos depicting children involved in sexual acts. So the warning comes as the police say they have noted several videos being shared on social media platforms this past week. Persons are being warned not to share these videos, and if they are sent to you, delete them immediately and advise the sender to do the same. So the Child Pornography Prevention Act, the Child Care and Protection Act, and the Cyber Crimes Act of 2015 are some of the laws under which persons may be charged if they are found in possession of such videos, or if it can be proven that they shared the video at any time. Instead of sharing the videos, persons who may be able to assist investigators are encouraged to contact their local police, the Center of Investigation for Sexual Offences and Child Abuse, the SOCA, or the police emergency. Yes. On the top it. You understand?
They never tell me.
Brother allegedly killed by sibling after pulling gun on mom. A man who the police labeled a violence producer was shot and killed allegedly by his own brother minutes after he pulled an illegal firearm on his mother and other family members at their home in Moko district in Garland, St. James on Sunday morning. The deceased has been identified as 46-year-old Sheldon Royal, otherwise called Bragadap. Reports from the Springmount police are that about 7 a.m., Royal got involved in an argument with his mother at their home. DH Sunday morning, before you play some Grace Thrillers and then sit there. You understand? He reportedly went inside the family home and destroyed furniture and subsequently used a piece of metal to unleash his rage on the board structure. Royal's mother reportedly tried to restrain him. I want this a shake, son. Right. Royal's mother reportedly tried to restrain him, but he allegedly pointed a gun at her. A younger brother accosted Royal, who was shot with his own gun during the tussle. It is reported that the younger brother went into shock and ran from the scene. He later turned himself in and the weapon to the police. You understand?
Royal pull a gun.
Right.
Tussle and sword.
With him look a brother page him, right? And the gunman get shot.
Okay.
Everything work out right. Well, everything work out the right way. Bragadap, go on like him want to bully everybody. Even him poor mother afraid of him. One resident who gave his name as Garnet said. Him go around and terrorize every farmer in the community. Him thief them things and then turn around and want to kill them. On our Bragadap down there so long. A police investigator said that Royal had been reported on numerous occasions for simple larceny, predatory larceny, arson and destruction of property. Oh, okay, I want to entertain Bragadap for a while. It's very entertaining. Since his death on Sunday morning, several community members have expressed joy to the police over the fact that their farms and farm animals will now be left alone. We also have reasons to believe that he has been behind a number of armed robberies that have been taking place in the community, and that the same firearm which was pulled on his family members was the weapon being used to commit his crimes, a senior cop said. Bragadap. Bragawa? Dap. Yo, a man draw gun from his mother. Jaja. 7 o'clock. Early morning. Sunday morning. You understand? Man in custody that one brother to brother. Man in custody over slashing of brother's throat in Rock Hall, St. Andrew. So the brother accused of using a knife to cut the throat of his elder sibling in Rock Hall, St. Andrew on Tuesday is now in police custody. It's got to hold her neck. The St. Andrew police confirmed that the accused was held on Thursday. He was arrested by cops attached to the Red Hills police. Now, a long-standing domestic dispute... I get a little bit stuffy now. A long-standing domestic dispute between the two brothers turned physical near their Town Road home after an incident of stone throwing. The dispute reportedly stems from the younger brother's seeming desire to obtain a property owned by his older brother. Ah boy, how much people are dead left? The injured sibling reportedly received 8 stitches. On Tuesday, the police told reporters that the accused man was known to them. He had reportedly been in and out of custody for several run-ins. with the law. Auntie. Yeah. Alright. Give me 1 minute. Soon come. Me a minute, please.
So like then show us on by you.
And send me.
You sound very sandy.
Read the Indicom article till me come.
Where is it? I can't say anything, honestly. I'm struggling to see. I can't see on the phone screen. So me wait on YouTube. We're all in limbo waiting. You checking your battery?
So just a look and not say nothing.
Until you say I can't sit to read the article and
Right, so just start to the people
them
about something. I mean, I'm bad star. But I mean, I'm here come put on a chair.
I'm here to entertain me.
At least we entertain the people.
That is true. I won't be incentive. That is so true. I am struggling.
Desiree Thompson. Are you Desiree now?
No.
Okay. Good night, Desiree. How are you? I can't believe I'm left for run a shop. I don't sell nothing. No. I never see this. Left girl in a shop and girl not sell a thing.
You never do a price.
Man fatally shot by police in Crab Hall, St. Mary. You know something? I never heard of a place like that in St. Mary.
Oh, seriously though, you know I can't stay on the phone screen to read the thing.
Oh, really? So where are your glasses? Let me ask you that question. You don't know? Oh, how responsible we are. When I left mine them, no matter what no one ask me favor. You understand? Think me I spend so much money on where them?
I don't know where they are, but I have to get my eyes done. Something is off now. Like really off.
Okay, Empress. So hold on. You don't have glasses?
Mm-hmm.
So what you mean?
Like it gone bad now.
You probably want update.
No, like my eyes. I don't know where the glasses are. That's what I say. I don't know where they are.
Oh, it is what it is. Okay. Okay, say a word. Okay.
Hey.
So sit down there with your eye them. Sit down. Sit down, miss. You understand? So, car blind can't lead blind, you know. Stop straining the eye them, man. Too much sugar in a diet.
Who said that?
Calvin. Some man was shot and killed by the police in the community of Crab Hall in Anatomy, St. Mary. He has been identified as 42-year-old Marlon Bell. So the incident is being probed by the Independent Commission of Investigations, Indicom. Now, according to Indicom, information from the police is that 3 cops acting on information went to a premises where an exchange of gunfire ensued. It was reported that a man was subsequently seen with gunshot injuries. So the police reported the recovery of a firearm. So the injured man was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Indicom says the cops involved in the shooting provided initial accounts of its investigators and were served with notices to submit statements and attend interviews in relation to the incident. So the alleged recovered firearm as well as the weapons of the cops were processed, and will be transported to the government forensic lab for testing. Invest there? Invest is still there, boy? And I think Calvin can answer that. When Indicom when Indicom takes your firearm for testing, you get another weapon the next day, or you just come on for frontline duty until you get back your weapon. All the part they go. Scotty, Desiree say, hi lady, how are you? She not see. She not fine, she blind.
Shut up.
My place at the no, I know Marlon good. So what really go on here, say? I saw you go. Scotty wear glasses. She have glasses, Richie, but she don't wear them. So that is not because Scotty wear have a good right and light in her face every Friday night and Sunday night. She have computer screen and look on her phone screen. But no. But see you and me always I give trouble and I mean a problem. Stay out of people business, you see. Plus she dey on computer every day. You understand? She have to read some handwriting where tie up your eye like. Yo. Former hotel worker who stole licensed gun and raped guests gets 20 years. So a former hotel worker who stole the licensed firearm of a male guest at a hotel in St. James and shortly after raped 2 female guests at gunpoint at the same property is to serve 15 years in prison before he can be eligible for parole. You forget more. Demar Scott, are your cousin, like? Had plead 27 years old. Had pleaded guilty in March to the charges when he appeared and he plead guilty now. It was reported that Scott forced himself into the room of 2 female American guests and raped them. While he was raping one of the women, the other managed to overpower Scott, took the gun from him, and shot him in the upper body.
Well, I'm on them with the gun and get overpowered.
The dog a rape a woman.
Oh.
So a 2 women, you know. So while them a rape one.
And one shot. Oh, the hotel.
Mama take a gun from her.
Shoot him.
You understand? So he was shot in the upper body. He ran away after he was shot. One of the women handed over the firearm to the police. The police later found him at a hospital suffering from gunshot wounds and arrested him. Scott was employed at the Rear Hotel as an entertainment coordinator 2 days before the incident on September 20th. The man just started work there, mama. 2 days, you know. Justice Martingale sentenced him last month to 20 years imprisonment for illegal possession of firearm and 6 years imprisonment for illegal possession of ammunition. He was sentenced to 20 years imprisonment each for 2 counts of rape. So 66 years, 66 years that we look at so far now. And was sentenced to 20 years imprisonment for each of the 2 counts of, so we are looking at 100 years. Well, 106 years, I don't know. The sentences are to run concurrently, so he will serve 20 years.
And he's old, 27?
27. The judge ordered that Scott must serve 15 years before he can be eligible for parole. Scott was on March 2, 2018 listed by the Manchester Police via its community partnership Facebook page as a person of interest in connection with a series of rapes in the parish. So if he's story on it, you know. And just a hotel, you know. So he was listed for a series of rapes in Manchester. You understand? Some of them know how the case they go. I know. Man killed in Manchester after a simple argument. You know what's soon on the stream with you? An argument between 2 men at a shop in William Peace, Hibernia district in Manchester turned deadly. A man identified by the alias Floops died after being chopped. His attacker is being sought. I think he has turned himself in. We'll soon get to that. Okay. It is reported that both men were at a shop around 11:30 p.m. when an argument developed about who was more knowledgeable.
What? Then this person, none of them was.
What I mean, which one am I more knowledgeable? Make sure
How
you
about
answer
the
right.
colours?
Make sure you answer right, you know,
How
cause
about the
things that happen to
colours?
you.
Like
You haven't that bad things that yo,
tell
what have you had to look? When you say about the devil,
it definitely run
he
upon them.
outside, man.
Run upon them and about himself.
He outside.
The argument was about who is more knowledgeable and somebody ended up
Me did not say you're wrong,
You're
but
not there, man.
you're right, man. I was
You're not
wrong,
there.
man. You did right.
You're not there.
So
You mean they're right there, sir?
It is reported that both men were at the shop around 11:30 p.m. when an argument developed about who was more knowledgeable about places and who had more exposure to different things. Well, what are they going to have more knowledge about? No, I know. But peeps, I really don't mean to laugh at about.
It's not that funny, but like, how does that make sense any at all? Like, the arguments about who knows more about places and have more experience.
Well,
One of them is most definitely going to experience prison.
a new place.
Well,
Well,
both
we
of
don't
them
know if
will
you knew.
experience the new place.
Ah, boy. The dispute escalated and Floops reportedly attacked the other man with a knife, injuring him. The bleeding man, who is now a suspect in the investigation, reportedly ran from the shop to evade his attacker. However, Floops reportedly pursued the injured man to his home, where another confrontation ensued. During the ordeal, Floops sustained chops to the side of his head and later succumbed.
Like,
Floops, you see Floops?
but a Floops run the man going here and still end up dead.
But this one look like a self-defense and no sis.
But them not make no sense.
Because if you run after you injure me and you run come my yard, then what you think me I gonna do? Ask if you nurse me injury?
None of that what them not make no sense.
Scotty, man, them argue over who more knowledgeable.
Stop saying that. Stop saying that. Yeah, like, other than I can't that them argue.
Peeps, forgive my laughter, you see? I'm not laughing at the demise of Floops. I'm just laughing at what they were fighting over. Who is more knowledgeable? You understand? Mark and Owen seem to have one of them conversation there. See you go. No, I do. Flop should have flopped, so too immature. The man run down the man guy yard after that something, man.
Exactly, so why you run him down go home? Because
Teach
they have the altercation on the road. Why you run down him and going yard?
Hold on there. Teach vlogging really damage the eyes? Well, don't know about vlogging per se, because that's not what I do, but what happened is that all screens, phone screen, tablet screens, computer screens, TV screen, they emit a blue light that is damaging to the eyes. And as such, you need to get a gamma ray glass type of thing to protect against that. So if not, over time, your eyes will become suspect, I suppose. I don't know. Right. But my eyes have been through so many things. You see, one at a time, I did have a computer screen where it just and like I deal with that for a long time before I could then replace it. You understand? At the time that we just, you understand? They really have enough money for the certain things and things. So yes, man. So all the lights that, like, there are so many lights on in the studio now. I sit here to edit for hours and then sometime when I stream, two screens are in front of me. You have lights in front of me here, so yeah. When I edit with the lights, but the screens are here and thing. And when I edit, and I like me can use night mode because then that may mess up. You may want to correct something. The color of the interview. Now remember I say a night mode is on and mess up the whole interview. So, but my glasses are so designed to help to protect against that. So yes. Me wear someone before where then sell on Amazon. Those I think when we put them on so I can see the night shade type of vibe comes in. But yeah, it does. It does, man. Right. So that's why they say if I watch TV too close to, I suppose, that too close to the TV and them things. So, and many of us spend hours on our phones and our tablets and our computers. So it does, especially with teachers recently being online for 2 years. You understand, in front of the screens and the students as well. So yeah, it's a whole host of things. Now, which I would know, sis? Oh, so man turns himself in after allegedly killing attacker in Manchester. Zine? So let me see this. So Manchester man who allegedly chopped to death at 52. So Floops are 52. So Floops are big man.
A big man.
Floops should end the woman raising read to him grandkids them. During a dispute in Hibernia district. Hibernia, that's such a nice name. My son's Scottish. Yeah man. Scotland? I think you have a Premier League team in Scotland near Hibernia. On Tuesday night, has turned himself into the police. So the deceased has been identified as Rohan Whittingham and thing. So the police report said about 11:30, Whittingham and a man had a dispute at a shop. You say that already. And stab and boom, boom, boom. Trail the man home. Follow a man going yard, brother.
Exactly. And now, look where it ended up.
He must. I wonder if him did that drink.
More than likely. Country, bar, more than likely.
Hanover decorator charged for sex crimes involving teen girl. So the police in Hanover have charged 24-year-old decorator Deshaun Hunt for sex crimes involving a teen. Hunt is from Pond Place in Hopewell, was charged on Tuesday with rape, grievous sexual assault occasioning bodily harm, and possession of child porn. So the police report that Hunt allegedly had sexual encounters with a 14-year-old against her will on several occasions between September 2021 and May 2022. The teen was also reportedly physically assaulted by him. The matter was reported to the police on Tuesday, June 2, and an investigation was launched. Hunt was subsequently arrested and charged. Man arrested following fatal shooting at bus park in Old Harbour. So a male suspect who shot 2 men, one fatally during an attack on Market Street in Old Harbour, St. Catherine, has been taken into custody. He said this morning, but I don't think it was this morning. It probably was yesterday or the day before.
Okay.
He was held during an operation in Old Harbour. So the police report that about 8:30 a.m., armed men made attempts to rob a man in the vicinity of a bus park. They say the man ran and the hoodlums opened fire in his direction. The 2 men who were nearby received gunshot wounds. So the police were summoned and the injured men were taken to hospital. One was pronounced dead while the other admitted. The deceased is yet to be identified. So a joint police military operation, well, never mind, was ongoing at the time. 16-year-old shot while attempting to rob licensed firearm holder. A 16-year-old male is to face the court on charges of assault with an intent to rob and illegal possession of firearm following an incident on Blissett Avenue, Kingston 20 on Tuesday, May 31st, so it's a little bit old. Now reports are that about 8:30 p.m., the teen and another male traveling on a motorcycle approached a licensed firearm holder who was in the process of closing his gate. The motorcyclist allegedly turned off the headlamp on the vehicle. The pillion reportedly got off the bike with a firearm in hand, instructing the man not to move. The licensed firearm holder pulled his weapon and discharged it at his attackers who escaped. The teen later turned up at hospital with gunshot wounds. He was subsequently pointed out during an identification parade. 2 of them shouldn't get it. You understand? Man shot dead in front of family.
Wow.
A man was shot to death just as he and his family pulled into their garage in Bethel Town, Westmoreland on Tuesday night. He has been identified as 37-year-old Hilton, otherwise called Kella, K-E-L-L-A. Now, residents said they heard loud explosions coming from the direction of Hilton's home in the Galloway district section of Bethel Town. They later found his body under a tree in front of his yard. The trees across the road from an early childhood institution. The residents stated that it appeared Hilton's killers hid in a corner near his house and waited for him to arrive. The moment him come out of the car in the garage, them start shooting. Him lady run out of the car upon the veranda, leaving the kids in the car and go back for them, one resident who did not want to be identified said. Now, according to the Jamaica Constabulary Force's Corporate Communications Unit, Hilton was shot and killed by unknown assailants. Reports from the Bethel Town police are that about 8:15 p.m. Hilton arrived home and was about to exit his vehicle when he was attacked by men armed with firearms. He was shot in the head and upper body.
Wow.
He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Hilton's cousin, who identified himself as Sani, said he had been a family man. He's everything good. It's not like he's a man that go around and give problem. It's a man who check on people. The family is grieving. The police recover stolen license gun in St. Andrew. Manhunt is on for robbers. So the police in St. Andrew South Police Division are on the hunt for robbers who held up a licensed firearm holder and stole his gun along with money and other valuables. 2 licensed firearm holder we just talk about, you know. The man reported that he was on Woodhaven Avenue on Wednesday afternoon when he was robbed by men traveling in a Nissan Latio motor car. While at the Duane Park police station making a report, the man received an alert that an ATM transaction was declined from a bank card that was among the items stolen from him. The police acted on this information and went to the location where the failed transaction was made. The police reported that on their arrival, a motor vehicle was seen and men ran from the car on the approach of the lawmen. The vehicle was searched and a Colt .45 pistol was recovered, as well as keys, a cell phone and other items according to the police. The vehicle was also seized. Well done to those police officers for acting swiftly so they could actually recover the weapon. Pity they never hold the fella them. They run left and carry like. Then go for rob and them lose. Nothing wrong with that. Manchester businesswoman ordered to forfeit $100 million in properties to the state. Well, the Supreme Court has ordered that over $100 million in properties owned by a Manchester businesswoman, her sister and son be forfeited to the state. The properties include 5 parcels of land spread across 4 parishes and measuring over 600 acres, which Eva Mae Sterling, 61, her sister Marlene Ledford, and son Nicholas Chang purchased between 2012 and 2014 for approximately $105 million, the Financial Investigations Division said. Sterling and Chang were joint owners of 1 parcel of land in St. Elizabeth, while Ledford was listed as the sole owner of another plot of land in the parish. The Manchester businesswoman was the sole owner of a parcel of land in Clarendon, while Ledford was also listed as the owner of 2 other properties in St. Catherine and St. Mary, where they're full of land. The order was made in the Supreme Court on June 13, the FID said. So, Sterling pleaded guilty in the corporate area criminal court last month to 2 counts of engaging in a transaction involving criminal property, an offense under the poker legislation. She was fined $300,000 or 9 months imprisonment on 1 count and 12 months imprisonment suspended for 2 years on the second count. Similar charges were discontinued against Ledford. So, wow. So the charges were very small compared to the forfeiture still.
Yeah.
But, oh well.
100 million in property.
Alright, so the queen of reggae, Lady Marcia Griffiths, was allegedly scammed of $5 million by fraudsters in a real estate deal. Oh, you have to rob Marcia, though. Like, Marcia is such a sweet lady. Like, I mean, I tell you, a fraudster who targeted Marcia Griffiths and reportedly scammed her of almost $5 million in a bogus real estate deal was dragged before the St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday, where he was remanded until September 8th. Whoa! It's a long stretch, man. The man was subsequently charged with obtaining money by means of false pretense. The accused, who has been identified as Ray Morgan, was recently released from prison after serving nearly 12 years for fraud.
Oh boy, him never learn. Oh no.
Prison never make fi dog.
Him never
Prison
learn.
not me friend them yard. The man miss it. Court documents showed that the man was charged last week by the fraud squad and has been placed behind bars. Now, fraud squad detectives say the accused man collected US $30,000 and Jamaican $250,000 from the electric bogey singer. Electric bogey singer as payment for a property. He had initially approached Griffiths in June of 2021 and offered her a deal, the report said. Under the deal, the accused man said he and his partners could lend Griffiths $500,000 US to purchase a property, but she would have to pay US $30,000 plus $250,000 Jamaican dollars for her fees. Boy, lady Marcia. And stamp duty according to court documents filed by the police. But Lady Marcia could be so trusting. And it was just so sweet. The fire burning singer called the police after she discovered that she had been defrauded by the man. Now, police sources say the man reportedly approached another reggae artist with the same bogus real estate deal after defrauding Griffiths, but Morgan's overtures were reportedly rebuffed. I wonder who. They should have beat him.
That boy now, man.
Oh, that's for real, man. Like, boy, I don't know. A man spent 12 years in prison, you know. And I said to him on the side, saying, go there, you know.
And he still come back and do it. So there's no rehabilitation?
I miss prison. Scotty's sleeping, laugh out loud. You there asleep?
No. I keep telling this because I'm looking down and that's, I think
okay.
we're reading in the glasses. The angel just asked me.
Scotty, what you doing, sis? Sleep?
Listen, the angel just asked me. No. Because when I'm looking down.
You're sleeping on the job? 12 years to try perfect the craft. You understand? Peeps, big up on yourself. Scotty tired, but me done too. And remember, I tell you something, I have an interview tomorrow early. So, I need to get myself together for that. Eh? No.
No, even.
Nope, unless you gotta do it. Then I mean that. So if you want to do it, fine. Me come turn on the camera then, fine.
My job is to turn up and set up. So when I turn up and set up, I do business with you.
Okay, alright. Oh, that's what you get paid for?
Yeah, turn up and set up.
Turn up and set up, okay.
Yeah. So we just come link you and take up the things them and go.
Okay.
Turn up and set
up. Okay.
There we go.
Don't yourself when your paycheck turn up.
And not set up.
And not set up properly, then we'll see how it go from there still.
Guys. I'm exhausted.
Yeah,
it's been a rough week at work.
You need to find your glasses.
Find the glasses. I'm going to look for it in the morning.
If you're a fool.
You know one of the handbags then.
See me, you're lucky. How many handbags I have, Miss Scott?
Quite a few.
Okay, well,
you know I like handbags.
Search through them for me, miss.
I'm going to search for them.
Peace, big up on yourself. Sunday, Father's Day, big up to the Father's Day.
Yeah.
You understand?
Big up to my father.
Big up to Sambo. And big up to Buddy.
Yeah.
You understand?
We streaming on Sunday? We're not streaming on Sunday.
Sure.
You know, go do things for Father's Day?
I mean, I think at dinner. I think I'm more brunch type of vibe.
Think you're not going to do other things?
What? Like what? Eh?
Don't pull me to say things.
No, you say other things. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't do things that are called other things.
Dinner. I thought you were going out to dinner and a movie.
I think it's brunch. Yes.
Brunch, alright.
Right. So the missus is brunching me. You understand? I don't know about anything else.
What you mean, like what, rebellious? I mean, other things I don't know. That's why I said if you guys going to do other things, I didn't say anything and I just said other things.
Oh, she in there.
I don't know why she asked me like what. Like dinner. Or go on a evening on the town or something.
Me have a evening on town.
Or other excursions.
Okay. Peeps.
I don't know.
I'm not sure yet. We'll see if streaming go on Sunday. My father say we can go reason with the youths them, man. You understand? A good father them. You see me? Like Sambo and Buddy. Yo!
Don't say anything to me. Do not say anything to me. Do not say
the man them full charge themselves. There's a premiere on Sunday, you know. 12 o'clock. One artist. A Jamaica man.
Okay.
I think Tuesday a Soko. I think. Remember
Already?
correctly. Yeah, what you mean already? You know long no interview Soko?
Yeah. I would
Bro-
just interview so.
Brother, watch out. We do about 10 interviews since we interview Soko. So since
Yeah.
Soko, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 interviews we have done since we interviewed Soko. So I don't know where you're at.
Been a while. It feel like I just
Just yesterday. Right,
Yeah, we do.
you know what's that? I need to remind him to do something today. I never remember, you know.
me.
No, Soko.
Oh,
Peace, big up on yourself. I'll see you on Sunday, maybe. You understand? I know there will be a
if
premiere
he's
at 12.
not doing other things, if he's doing other things, am I keeping my nephew so you can go and do the other things?
I don't know, you know. I don't know if I'm probably going granny
Okay.
and thing. But you can't keep him.
Yeah, other things, then you're going.
So, you say, we can keep, I mean, I'm going to do other things.
Mm,
Okay.
you're
That's
good.
yeah.
To all the fathers in the stream, happy Father's Day when it comes. I hope you enjoy it to the fullest.
And do other things.
You do other things.
And
Don't
me
try
alone
to
do
mess up
other
other
things.
people. You play a monumental role in the society as being a father. So I hope you take it seriously and you give it your best. But happy Father's Day.
Who does come drink 2
Alright?
Guinness with his fathers them Sunday night, man?
Alright.
Eh,
After you do the things or before?
I don't know. Probably not drink Guinness, so probably after.
Alright. You good.
Babes, big up for yourself. I appreciate the support. You understand? Big up to the ones that were there. So you know tonight I took some very unpopular stance. But I
regular
love
you do
man.
that.
I regular do that for Tuesday.
Yeah.
You understand? So I just saw the thing we have to try to bring some balance to the conversation. Zine and try if it be fair to everybody and think despite of how unpopular it may be. You know I'm always willing to do that. And my back broad and my head big. So and things. So peace, big up on yourself, enjoy the weekend. All of the fathers them, the real fathers
Enjoy
them,
it.
full
Yeah.
joy on the weekend. And ladies, you can't give the man them, you give them every day a year for Father's Day gift, man.
Which is
You don't do it. The same thing.
socks and tie.
The good thing them. But add something to it, man. Add something to it, man. You understand? It can't be the same just right through here. Same thing we get for Valentine's Day, same thing we get for birthday, same thing we get
Rebellious?
for Father's Day. We not add something to it thing, man. You understand?
Are you here?
We not have to upgrade the thing. You understand what I say? Yeah, man.
You might upgrade and can't manage.
Oh, yes, man. Yeah, 50 cents, eh?
Better
Get
you
rich.
keep what you used to.
Get Richard died, try you there. Ladies, upgrade the thing. You understand? Yeah, man.
You
Peeps.
know you want me lay you. That's all you need to do.
What good? You know what I think? Step with you. Sunday, 12 o'clock. Premiere.
Jamaica.
Zane. Nice go Father's Day premiere. And thing. And as I said, we might stream Sunday night and thing. Not rebellious and
Yeah.
not
Me don't rang you be rebellious.
What she said, not Well, what's your answer? She said,
As in,
she
she
not
not
give the
trying to
same
add.
thing.
No, she's not
Every,
trying to
no, that
add
is not what she
anything
answered.
more.
No, that's not
Rebellious,
what she
do not allow
That is-
him.
That is not. Me add other things. See? We tell her.
You see you? You're one of them we talk about. Peer pressure.
Peeps, big up for yourself, yeah. Give thanks. Heart of love. Love the ones, them. You understand? Enjoy the weekend. Be safe. And thing, and I'll see you Sunday, I think. Probably should I stream Sunday, man, and drink 2 Guinness, man. You understand? Celebrate the fathers, them. And things. Talk about some things different. How many camera with you? Where are you?
I go look for my phone.
I look for Sambo. But they not see me. You understand? Then it's true. Peeps, big up on yourself, yeah. What good? Step with ya. Save trouble upon the gravel. Oh, Scotty, tell the people then bye. I'm someone
Good
else.
night, guys. Good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe and be good. Be good. Treat somebody. Show some kindness to someone. You never know what they're going through and how your kindness might impact them. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you on Sunday for Father's Day, if we're streaming.
If me not do other things.
If Mr. Williams is not doing other things.
Peace. Night. I'm out.
Night.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Teach Dem Radio Show. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Until the next episode, check out the Teach Dem YouTube channel for more good things from the yard. Also, we'd appreciate a rating for this episode. Until next time, walk good, my friends.